should have noticed in my followers that
The Casey
actually,
was
yeah,
like,
GetRECt hosting Link Casey right now. It's over.
it's over. I hopefully fix it. I don't know how to restart the timer. That's okay.
That's right. We're live. We're live.
Big yikes today. Apparently the victorious Ori splash art is out.
It is. She kind of looks like LeBlanc. She kind of looks like Oriana.
Yeah, she looks more like LeBlanc than Oriana, except the, like, hoop skirt. But, you know.
That's okay.
Apparently you get chromas again.
If you're gold, yeah. That's why we were
Well, if you
playing
get Challenger, you get a backpack to put everybody in. Hell yeah.
You know, fit all those bananas so you can feed the boosted apes.
Anyway, here's an intro video. At least can hit that button still. Oh, even bigger yikes, I didn't change the scoreboard, so enjoy that black screen for just a little bit, everybody watching on the stream.
It's alright, I'm pretty sure everyone's still asleep.
Yeah.
Andor hasn't tuned in, and I'm okay. I don't know if I'm okay with that or not. We have to wake up, you have to wake up.
But will that happen before or after we're done streaming today? Sneck is gonna be teal today. Just arbitrarily decided. Okay, so welcome everybody to what should be a very straightforward and fun cast of League of Legends today. We're here for week 8 of the Gold Capped, starting with most of Noxus as per usual. My name is Meristematic.
Big yikes.
I've had pretty much no sleep, and I am tired. With me is Wing Nation. We're gonna try to fumble through this cast as best as we can. Sorry in advance to everybody whose names or abilities I mess up at this moment. But yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one. First up, we've got Landsneck versus Indigo Sky. Landsneck comes in at 1-5, and Indigo Sky is 0-6. I might have added a loss for each of them.
I mean, we're on week 8. So...
Yeah, but there's 2 weeks that don't count.
That's true.
I'm just gonna pull up the standings and cheat. I don't normally do it. Okay, Landsneck's 1-4 and Indigo Sky's 0-5. Okay, I did give him an extra loss. Sorry, both teams. Both teams have been eliminated from the playoffs, so this is just for a bit of pride. But as we can see, pretty much most of the starters have kind of made it for both teams. So,
yeah, starters or returning members, if you will.
Yeah, so the pride factor definitely on the line. Both teams looking to win. Let's find out what happened, shall we? If you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. As we spawn into Summoner's Rift for the first time today, on the bottom side of the map wearing the blue health bars this game is going to be the Landsneck team. In the top lane, Iron Man Fan 34 playing Gnar. In the jungle, Moose 9068 on Jax, Sassiest Dragon NA on Vigar, and then Jhin and Alistar on being piloted by Gar of the Sand and the White Shadow in the bottom lane.
And on the red side, we've got Indigo Sky. We've got Joshi, 54,100 on the Maokai. Tree SM chance. We got Taco Trineki in the jungle on Kha'Zix. Ublaga in the mid lane on Kassadin. And we've got Flozart making his return with Legion, aka Neo, aka it was KRSA or something, whatever. On the Tristana Pike bottom lane.
Whatever account he chooses to use on the day.
Yeah, whichever one's not permabanned.
Yikes.
So just the Legion one.
So both teams just setting up defensively to start off. Nothing super out of the ordinary. Even kind of interesting, we didn't see either team really go across that midpoint and look for vision. So it's going to be a pretty blind start, all things considered. We just have the two wards in kind of the pixel bushes on each side.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know whether you would be like, yeah, we'll just treat this like it's any other solo queue game, or if, I don't know how I would handle it as a squad.
Anyway, honestly, both of these teams, it feels like both teams got approximately the champions they would want coming out of draft. This is a lot of comfort picks across the board, especially on the side of Landsneck. Although Legion's not going to give us any time to hook because he goes ahead and bone skewers in the White Shadow. Both Aftershock procs just keeping him pretty healthy, but anyway, we've seen Joshi start to play more of the tank champions in the last couple of weeks, which I don't know that I personally favor that style on him. I just remember him popping off on Nasus. Taco Trinecki's found well, more accurately, Moose has found Taco Trinecki, gets a counter-strike, bunch of damage, forces the flash away from the Kazakhs.
I mean, flash for flash and control over Scuttle Crab, I guess worth it. Slow down the Kazakhs first clear, which normally isn't the healthiest of clears.
Yeah, we see Tak just kind of poking back in toward that Scuttle Crab, maybe looking to make something happen, but Gar of the Sand and the White Shadow have already slid over, got a little bit of aggressive vision. They should have already known that the blue buff was taken, so I'm not sure why they double-checked exactly, but, you know, a little bit of extra vision never hurts, making sure he's not getting ganked, I guess. But anyway, as I was saying, a lot of comfort champions. We see the Gnar coming out for Iron Man set fan, Sassiest Dragon on the Veigar. Both
There's
very much, yeah. Moose on the Jax is kind of his second pick. So the only new ones are Gar of the Sand and White Shadow, and they can't seem to decide exactly what they play anyway, other than maybe White Shadow's Nami was off the table. Or maybe that nerf was just enough that White Shadow didn't want to play it anymore. Meanwhile, for in the bot lane, Flozart and Legion getting aggressive, looking for the all-in at level 3. Not going to find a whole lot. Another exhaust used on the Legion as he's forced to Ghost Water dive back away. I turned the chat specifically off, and it turned back on. I can't turn it off now. The button actually just won't click. That's neat. Okay, so we're going to have chat this game. Sand, meanwhile, taken pretty low. Throws out the Deadly Flourish, but not able to find his mark. Meanwhile, Moose in the top lane can't quite find the counter-strike onto Joshi as the Bramble Smash knocks knocks Moose and Iron Man fan away. I can't just press I and uncheck it. I can press I and the box is checked, and when I click it, it remains checked. So hopefully there's nothing disorderly going on in the chat this game, because there's no way for me to hide it. Thanks, Riot. I noticed yesterday I couldn't turn it on, and now I can't turn it off today, which is kind of nice.
The old classic spaghetti code.
The classic spaghetti code. Can I move it to the bottom under the graphics? Yeah.
Small indie company.
There. Completely hidden. No one will see. And we miss First Blood as White Shadow is able to pick up the kill. Legion now in trouble as he's running. Moose chasing him down and will pick up the kill with the Empowered Strike. Taco Trinecki, meanwhile, engaging in top lane, jumps forward, grabs a slow onto Iron Man fan with the passive, twisted advance in the Bramble Smash will knock him back, but Iron Man fan's still healthy. Taco Trinecki wants blood though, he's headed under the tower, and Iron Man fan will pick up the kill with the sapling in return for Joshi. But that's not all. I'm
surprised the sapling got that. But...
Yeah, I am kind of too. Landsneck taking advantage of having the numbers on the bottom side of the map. They're going to go after the Cloud Dragon. Nothing to exchange it for. This is awkward. Actually, the chat now won't go away. It's just down here. Okay. Yeah, that sapling did a lot of damage. Does he have more than 1 point in it? No, it's just the 1 point. Okay. Never doubt the Joshi sapling. That thing was on a mission. Anyway, what did you see from that early sequence, Winged?
I mean, it's really just turned into, so start with the Jax kill or gank bottom anyway. Flozart got the Alistar combo into tower, and then as soon as Taco Trineki made his face known in the top lane with like basically like just a play on the opposite side of the map, Landsneck responded accordingly and went for the free dragon. Cloud Drakes aren't the most exciting, but they're honestly still pretty helpful.
Yeah, and with the early mobility boots on White Shadow, it means that we could see this Alistar look to roam very quickly toward the bottom lane. I like that the eyes are just permanently stuck on all of the members of Landsneck. It's a nice addition to their character model. Thanks, Riot.
Yeah, or I was gonna say, like, looking at the team comp of Landsneck, as a Jhin, currently you're trying to face a Maokai, Kassadin, Tristana, Pyke, and Kha'Zix. Like, that is an awful team to be playing Jhin into. So hopefully that Cloud Drake will help, like, assist you kite back and maybe survive just a little bit better.
Yeah, plus with Hail of Blades, now you can be the extra fast. Moose is here in the top lane looking for a gank onto Joshi. Nature's Grasp comes out just to get him a little bit of distance on the snare, and a Bramble Smash will secure his exit. So, Ultimate traded for, I guess, free for Joshi, but he escapes the gank, and is still relatively healthy. Also is up 22 CS on Iron Man Fan Zanar.
Not the normal.
Yeah, normally it's the early CS advantage for Gnar because range versus melee. But I guess Joshi's just doing a really good job farming it up, and Iron Man Fan has not been getting all that CS. Yeah, he starts Cull every single game. Ublaga invades the red buff, finds a Moose here, doesn't steal away, and now takes a bunch of damage with the Empowered Strike, able to Rift Hop away. Now has to dodge out all of the Curtain Call shots, but White Shadow is collapsing in on him and will take his second kill of the game. Flash forward from Sassiest Dragon, puts Flozart into the baby cage, no stun just yet. Double stun from Legion, able to buy a little bit of distance. Bone Skewers in Sassiest Dragon, but now he's been flipped to the wrong side. Sassiest Dragon ticking down, the explosive shot will be enough to finish him off for Flozart. Legion still headed out the other way. If those Mobies kick in for Alistar, he might be in trouble, but he's able to dive out over the wall. Anyway, Iron Man Fan goes Cull every game, regardless of champion, it seems like. So that's a thing that isn't even really worth mentioning at this point. Legion still diving forward, looking aggressively for this. His AD carry is only sitting at about half health, so maybe not the best time to engage as Garthashin throws out that fourth shot, knocks him down to about a quarter. Moose is back behind the turret. The counter-strike's already down, so he doesn't actually get that. White Shadow pops his ult and dives in under the turret, but not able to grab that Pulverize because he ran out of mana. And Legion and Flozart successfully navigate the gank. So, which team scaling do you prefer this game as we go later and later into the game? Do we even get to talk about it? Ublaga jumps in.
Do we even get to talk about it? Yeah. It's definitely going to be Indigo Sky in my opinion. Well, like the Jin's going to have all of like the loaded damage and then his 4 autos. He's going to have to try to get through a super beefy Maokai eventually. You've got a Kassadin who has always been known as that late game monster, and while Vygar is a decent scaler himself. Kassadin, once he starts seeing, like, honestly right now, but closer to like the level 11 mark, that's when Kassadin should just be able to take over this lane and just constantly jump onto the Vygar. If you got the Dark Harvest scaling on the Kha'Zix, and Kha'Zix ISO damage is just never something to be trifled with.
Yeah, Kha'Zix ISO damage able to secure them a Rift Herald. Meanwhile, Ublog has taken control of this mid lane, jumping aggressively onto Sassius Dragon. And Taco Trinecki's sitting on a ward. Oh, the dive forward from Legion doesn't grab the death from below, and now taking up an extra turret shot just for his trouble. Dark Meteor doesn't do that critical damage, though, as Legion able to get out to safety. Still might be in a little bit of trouble, although Ublaga jumps forward, the Nullifying Orb never really does a huge amount of damage. It's an okay trade because of the shield in like every case, but it's not the... You're not going to blow anything up with Nullifying Orb, usually.
Anyway, basically the only like champion that doesn't scale particularly well for Indigo Sky.
Ublaga's found Sassius Dragon, though, with that extra damage from the Rift Step. Taco Trinecki has gone kind of the wrong way over the wall. He's off into enemy territory. White Shadow in pursuit. The Benny Hill theme's just going on in the bottom lane. Joshy's being taken really low by those hyper procs. White Shadow is now the one who looks like he's in trouble. The ISO damage from Kha'Zix doing quite a bit, but now Moose is here as he's not able to grab that counter-strike, and now the curtain call back toward his own base. 2 dodges. Oh, no 3 dodge from Taco Trinecki, and the 4th shot into Ublaga will secure the kill for Moose, and now Legion forced to Ghost Water dive back away. Should have Phantom Undertow to get back over the wall, out to safety. So kind of a weird, odd-numbered situation, as...
Weird, odd-numbered, and out of position.
Joshy looking for a lot of trade damage here. He's finished up his Sunfire Cape, so he's feeling like a strong tree. Iron Man fan doing a pretty good job using these hyper procs, trying to keep his distance, but he flashes back into the Nature's Grasp. One more auto should do it, and Joshy will pick up the kill with his second sapling bomb of the game. Another Ocean Dragon going down in favor of Landsneck, though. So they are stacking up the dragons. They have a very small gold advantage across the board at about 600 right now.
Things to keep an eye on. Kassadin did just complete Rod of Ages, so that's going to begin stacking, begin the ultimate scaling. So here, honestly, about the 23-minute mark, where probably should have either a completed Abyssal Scepter, which doesn't look like he's going for a tier, so maybe just a Lichbane.
Oh, Moose really wanted that. Okay, flashed over the wall looking for Ublaga, but he still has Cleanse and Flash available, and also his Kassadin. Bone Skewer coming in, going to find Sassius Dragon. The immobile Vygar, a little bit easier of a target here. Dash forward, Death from below will secure the kill, while the Ignite does. The turret trading back quite a bit of damage. The Aftershock proc, actually the killer in this process. Joshy in trouble in the top lane, and one more auto will do it as Iron Man fan picks up the kill. So Moose, from the unsuccessful gank in mid, able to at least grab something for himself there in the top lane. Meanwhile, you have to be a little bit concerned if you're Landsneck. A lot of your extra gold, a lot of your advantage right now is on the Alistar. He's got 3 kills so far.
Yeah. I didn't even notice. Did you mention first brick going down?
No.
Yeah, Joshy. The reason Joshy died up there was he committed and got first brick, basically.
So he got first brick. He's probably going to lose his tower. No, never mind. That tower is still very healthy. And 2 members of Indigo Sky headed up there. Plus, you have Joshy respawning from base. This might be a collapse now for Indigo Sky. They're trying to recall in the side bush, but they've been spotted. Taco Trinecki and Ublaga jumping forward, grabbing a little bit of extra damage, but now Taco Trinecki's in trouble. The Nature's Grasp will buy a bit of distance, and the kill will go over to Joshy now. Iron Man fan in trouble, and the Rift Step will pick up the kill for Ublaga. Dash away from Legion as he gets 1 stun in the bottom lane, but Guard the Sand and White Shadow are doing a good job shoving this in, at least so far on Flozart and Legion. We've seen Legion be able to roam a little bit more successfully than White Shadow has, but it hasn't benefited the AD carry or the tower particularly much, as Flozart down 20 CS and most of their tower health there in the bottom lane.
Is Brick a wing Maris-ism? I feel like I hear a decent amount of people.
Yeah,
call
Ublaga
it
with the
for
solo kill in mid lane, by the way.
Look at that level 11 spike, called. 6 stacks now in the Dark Seal Cassidon. Hasn't upgraded, or didn't upgrade his refill pot.
Taco Trineki's invading Moose, which I don't think is quite the right idea, but he gets away, so no harm, no foul. Has the Q evolve first. I haven't played any amount of Kha'Zix recently. Is Q evolve first the standard right now?
To be fair, I don't even know.
Oh.
I know that you're relying on me as a former resident Kha'Zix player, but I haven't touched him. I haven't really touched the jungle outside of Talia in forever.
Yeah, for some reason I thought W evolve was what they were doing now. Not really sure though. Ublaga just is Cassidon. That's not really a threatening situation for him. But Flozart jumps in, the Bone Skewer back over the wall. Gara of the Sand, they don't have vision over the wall. The Buster shot really helps out Gara of the Sand. He's still alive, but now they're flashing forward into Moose. The stun going to pick up the kill on Legion.
That's the classic Neo play.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension there from the bottom lane of Indigo Sky leads to another kill for Landsneck. But all of this action has been on Landsneck's part of the map. Well, and there's going to be some more. Is Taco Trineki able to find the 80 carry? He doesn't have wings, though, so...
See, I was about to say, I feel like a lot of Kha'Zix at this point have been evolving wings first, just for, like, either team fighting or getting them to the level 11. Not sure. But that's what I feel like I would almost be going at this point. Like, I know that the W slow is nuts. But maybe in coordinated play. I don't know.
I'm not even sure. Maybe it's just arguable. You can go anything except R right now, which I think is just consensus the weakest evolution for him right now.
The way it should be. Make him look ugly every time.
Anyway, despite the kills being slightly in favor of Landsneck, the gold being slightly in favor of Landsneck, what we've seen is a lot of pressure being applied by Indigo Sky. All of the fighting has pretty much been in Landsneck's jungle, or, you know, the handful of things like this where it's happening in lanes, but it's still on Landsneck's side of the map, and you can feel the pressure being exerted by Indigo Sky. Plus, they have the scaling advantage. It feels like it's going to break open for them at any moment if they stop overcommitting for things that they shouldn't overcommit for.
Definitely, and then like even like we just were seeing the trade up there, Joshy's continuing to bully the Gnar as Maokai, which is always going to be a head scratcher. But he's up almost 50 CS at this point.
Yeah, there is a point where you become tanky enough that you don't care about Gnar anymore.
Yeah.
As long as Gnar isn't super scaling into the late game, and they've done a good job keeping him under wraps. He doesn't even have his Cult finished up yet, which, like 100
I mean,
CS.
he'll get that wave, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a little bit late of a Cult finish. They found White Shadow just clearing this ward, but he's got the ultimate to buy a little bit of time. Ublaga is the one that's chunked really low. Moose can't quite finish that one off, and now Legion's in trouble. The fourth shot doing the damage over the top, and Iron Man fan jumps forward, grabs it with his boomerang. Taco Trineki's just hanging out over the side now. The curtain call coming in over the top. Iron Man fan flashes forward into 4 people and dies himself as the ISO damage from Taco Trineki able to pick it up. They're looking for Sassiest Dragon. That ISO damage is disgusting over the wall from Taco Trineki. Joshy's found White Shadow as he knocks him back in, just trying to finish off the kill on the Alistar. Good twisted advance, dodges out the W.
The Deadly Flourish.
Deadly Flourish. I can't. That one and his trap name sound the same.
Oh, the Captive Audience?
Yeah, it feels like they should be switched because you're captive.
Like, I mean, yeah, you captivate
snared.
them and just get them stuck, but at the same time, it's kind of a slow, and you kind of get vision of them. That's kind of part of it, I feel like.
Oh, Joshy not quite able to flash over the wall. The baby cage finds Taco Trineki. Sassiest Dragon doesn't... Was that Primordial Burst the first thing he threw? Well, the Q's going to pick it up regardless, so Sassiest Dragon grabs the kill on the overextended jungler. That's his first of the game. Ublaga now in enemy territory. Rift steps onto the Veigar, trying to finish him off. Needs one more auto, but can't quite do it. Legion's here, though. He'll clean up with the with the death from below. Trying to get out with the Ghost Water dive. Veigar the Sand finishes him off. You can always count on Legion to go in for those kills.
Exactly what I was about to say. F's in the chat for Joshy's flash. And you're right, Joshy. No one saw it. None of us.
So again, we've got the extension going. It's 2 towers to 2. It's pretty much even gold. It's pretty much even kills, which just favors Indigo Sky more and more as it goes on, as we've discussed. We haven't really seen like a group team fight. That last fight was the closest thing we saw, and Indigo Sky was able to roll over them despite being 4v5. Maybe 4v4 if you count Nar getting blown up in the bush before anything happened as well, but...
He picked up a kill before getting blown up.
Second evolve is E for Taco Trineki on your friendly Kha'Zix tracker.
That's feeling like a throwback prior to the R changes that made him stupid busted.
Which, to be fair, they didn't really change anything else. They just nerfed the R. They buffed empowered W again, didn't they? I don't remember. Kha'Zix sees so many changes, and changes good, as we always discover. He just reappears in some new way, busted completely. Not that that's the case right now. Not arguing that, but... Joshy's found Moose, but the rest of the team has found Joshy as they jump back in. The Gnar back into the wall as they're trying to engage on Maokai. The baby cage is good, locking up, but it's 3v4 so far. Joshy's should be the first to fall. Okay, he does take the last curtain call shot. It'll just be the 1 for 0 so far in favor of Landsnack. Bone Skewer, Legion's never afraid to look for that Bone Skewer. Jumping from Flozart as he grabs the kill and jumps back out onto Moose, but he's being chased down. Gar of the Sand has the 4th shot available, looking to use it. Ublaga's off on one side, takes some damage down onto White Shadow, but again, everything is just really spread out. Nothing is super coordinated, but it looks like Landsnack just had the slightly better coordination than that fight. Gar of the Sand not quite able to find the snare, so won't be able to follow up onto Ublaga. The first turret going low. Sassiest Dragon pulled in by the Bone Skewer just to buy a little bit of time. Legion died.
4.
4, except that Gnar got the kill.
It was 3, and it was
and a boomerang. It was like off-screen and spectated camera. I guess that wasn't as important as the tower going down, but that'll be the tower and the kill going over to Landsnack, and now they have a 1,000 gold lead.
Ublaga upgraded his Dark Steel to a Medjay's.
7 pages written in the book so far. We'll see if he can add some more to that as the game goes on, but maybe a little bit of overconfidence there from Ublaga.
Yeah, I suppose like as you continue to scale, it is easy to add stacks, even if you drop them a couple times.
Yeah, it feels like almost too bloody of a game for a Mage Eyes, but we'll see how Ublaga plays around that, or if he has to.
Looks like Josh is going for that Righteous Glory third. I don't necessarily know Maokai's build path. Resident Tree player. Is that sort of standard, or?
I can't believe you'd call me out like that. Oh, the headbutt away. He'll get out to safety. Meanwhile, Flozart has been found by Moose over the wall. The power of the Gunblade Jax coming to fruition. Joshy dodges out the Gnar. Sidesteps. Legion's looking for something along the side. It should just force them back away. Or, you know, to turn directly onto him. The Righteous Glory is a fine item. Taco Trineki flashes into the walls of the baby cage, takes Primordial Burst. Sassiest Dragon picks up that kill. And now Landsnack has a pretty decent advantage here in the mid lane. They're trying to just do anything they can to kill Joshy, but he's so tanky.
Me Tree, big brain.
He's just beating him down.
Anyway, Moose is scaling, and that Gunblade is bopping the squishies.
Yeah, if he can find the backline, if he can find Flozart, which I guess is the entire backline, he can do some damage to him. Ublaga, not the tankiest member either, but he at least has the Rod of Ages and his little nullifying orb shield to help keep him healthy. But if Jax gets onto Tristana, that's should be a dead Tristana like 100% of the time at this point.
I guess we didn't really even point out Ublog is running Cleanse on Kassadin, which definitely helps get out of the baby cage and out of a root, and out of a stun, but...
Well, they find him as they throw him back into his own baby cage. Legion picks up the kill with his death from below, but pays for it again, trading 1-for-1. Moose has found Taco Trineki, forcing him to jump away. The teleports matched from both top laners on the pink wards right next to each other. And then a little bit of gentleman's agreement not to immediately go onto each other. Taco Trineki's cut out on the other side. He'll get fourth shotted down by Gara the Sand. And now it's the 4v3 in favor of Lanceneck, and that should be the Air Dragon secured for him as well. Hello, what are the glowing orbs? It appears to be a spectator glitch involving Pike. It's the eyeball from his Ghost Water dive, and it just hasn't ever gone away. Anyway, it's 19-14 in favor of Lanceneck. They have the first significant gold lead of the game here at about 3,000. Are you looking at Baron as a possibility if you're Lanceneck, or do you have to kind of avoid that because you have Jhin and kind of low Baron damage?
Yeah, I would, if you're looking Baron at all, if you're Lanceneck, it would be if you're seeing Indigo Sky like send 2 or 3 members bottom and like, I guess, I don't know. Like Jax will burn kind of through Baron now that he's got a Triforce completed, and like honestly Vigar, depending on how many stacks he's got, will have his W available like every 2 seconds to drop another like 800-900 damage nuke on it.
He's at 157 currently.
I take it back, that's like 30% CDR.
Oh, the slow from the Frozen Mallet should be able to find Joshi, then knock him up, but Legion is here trying to defend his tree. Flozart poking around the side. It's a 3v4 setup as it is currently, with Ublaga split pushing in the bottom lane. He'll grab that first turret. So the big objective prize, but he's a ways away from his team. Gara the Sand playing frontline on that Jhin, looking for somebody to shoot.
No one's gonna go match the Kassadin, I suppose.
Yeah,
You either look to force a fight then, or...
I think Gnar might be the only person who can even exist in lane against the Kassadin at this point. Like, we've seen him solo out the Vigar, do some nice chunk damage. I think you have to send Gnar back if you're looking to stop that. But the only person recalling is Gar of the Sand on Jhin.
Why does Gold Cap like Gnar and Maokai so much? Well, Gnar is an Iron Man fan special, if you will. He plays it when his Urgot's typically not available.
I think he's played it with Urgot available at this point. I think Gnar has become the priority pick for him. Oh, Legion diving his way through 3 people and able to flash back out. And then grab the hook onto Moose just for good measure.
And then the Maokai pick, that's basically only been used by 2 of our top laners, I think. To my knowledge, anyway, from at least the games that we've cast.
Yeah, and Toe Knuckles has a good point. Point and click CC and Gold Cap is pretty strong, as it turns out. Hard to argue when your Maokai can win lane against Gnar.
That's also true. Like, even still, easily maintaining the PCS lead on an Gnar.
So Lanceneck pushing in toward the center turret in mid lane. They have at least kind of all 5 people in the area. Kha'Zix is split pushing top for Indigo Sky, with the rest of Indigo Skies looking to group up. This could be the big team fight we've been waiting for as they push in toward the center turret. I don't know that this is super worth fighting for if you're Indigo Sky, but they're going to throw out the Nature's Grasp anyway. They found Vigar to start things off. He'll be able to flash back away as Moose immediately jumps onto the AD carry. He sees his moment. He'll take Neo instead, but it's the 1-for-1 so far. Joshi is just tanking 4 of them in the back. He's onto Sassy's Dragon. He'll grab one, grab the heal. Can you even kill the Maokai? Ublaga jumps forward with the Rift Step. The extra damage coming out. The Gnar back away from Iron Man Fan just to get a little bit of distance is good. The Righteous Glory trying to close the gap for Joshi. They'll dodge out the W. Ublaga grabs some extra damage. Now the Curtain Call coming through. He lands a second shot. Lands the fourth onto Ublaga, but he's pretty healthy at this point. But the rest of Indigo Sky has peeled for Baron. It's a 2-for-1 win for Indigo Sky as they grab the teamfight victory, and now they're turning on the Baron. Can Landsneck stop this? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, like, I don't really think so. I feel like if Jin tries to step forward, Cass is gonna hop onto him, and Curtain Call's down.
Yeah, Ublaga's here just zoning off Iron Man Fan right now from the Baron. He doesn't need to win this fight. He just needs to buy that little bit of time as Baron is secured for Indigo Sky. Maokai is just a tanky assassin that dives into the enemy team and slowly tickles them to death forehead. I don't know what the forehead's for. That's completely accurate from what we've seen in this game.
I mean, yeah, you just jump in 1v4 and they're like, kill the tree, and then someone dies, and then by then your team's killed the other member that's gone in, and you proceed to win 5v4.
Yeah, the Maokai a little bit more capable of handling the 1v4 than the Jax is at this point in the game. Jax looking to get tanky next. He's grabbed the Spectre's Cowl, which means that he's really irritated by the Cassidon damage, I guess?
I don't know. Maybe he's just gonna try to go Spirit Visage because he's like, more healing for my Gunblade. I don't know that.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Not like a lot, but it kind of does.
Oh.
Legion, he's a fast boy. He's going to grab the stun onto Moose and jump forward onto Gara the Sand. That'll be one kill going over, and they found Moose as well. The Death from Below will pick him up, and Iron Man Fan looking for the collapse. He's got his ultimate available, but all he can do is just throw Taco Trineki backwards. The baby cage for a little bit of distance. Ublaga jumps forward anyway into it. He wants more. He's looking for Blood Nullifying Orb plus the Rift Step. Into the E, Sassiest Dragon super low, but just can't quite grab the kill as Legion. Taco Trineki now just feeling the Gnar special from the slows on the side as Ublaga jumps back forward. Joshi is just pushing minions in mid lane, and Flozart is set up for Dragon. And by set up for Dragon, I mean he's actively attacking it right now without his jungler there.
I guess nor will he need the dragon. Or
Yeah.
Nor will he need the jungler.
Earth Dragon for Indigo Sky, the Rocky Boy, as they continue to push in toward the inner turret. The Jin build, though. Yeah. We could talk about that in just a second, as Legion looks like he might be a little bit caught out. The Curtain Call mildly annoying to him, but he's able to survive. They're engaging on Joshi now. Can they even burn down the tree? All 5 members of Landsneck trying to focus on him. Moose is diving into the backline, but they'll take the kill onto Joshi for their trouble. And now Landsneck 5v4, but the Blast Cone out. Well, I guess it's 5v4. Flozart's in mid lane. It was really 5v3. Ublaga still wants more. He's got 13 stacks on the Magi's. Do you want to talk about the Jin build just a little bit?
I mean, so he's got Infinity Edge. The only true damage that he's getting is off his Storm Razor crits, which I guess as Jin you could get them relatively often just because you're
You get them on your,
limited in your attack speed.
first and your 4th shot, guaranteed, pretty much.
Is like 1st and 4th shot guaranteed. Probable 2nd and 3rd, but that's not always a guarantee. Then with the Halo Blades bug fix, honestly, this was played post 8:20 going live, right? Because we're watching it now.
Yep.
So with the bug fix for Jin and Halo Blades, I feel like, I don't know, Jin I thought kind of got hit kind of hard by that bug fix.
It certainly didn't help him any.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help. The Yote moves, that's like a throwback to a while ago though.
The U moves implies that you're trying to look for damage on squishy targets, which means that he's not getting much advantage out of that unless he's hitting only Flozart right now.
Much.
Yeah. Maybe Legion as well, but Legion now has a Chain Vest, so even that's kind of eh.
Yeah, we definitely know 4 shots of crit. We were saying.
I think that's the discussion in the chat.
Yeah. The discussion it's more of because Jin has his like capped auto speed and like how Stormrazor works. Most of his auto attacks, despite having no crit chance, most of his autos still should be crits if he just has like that moment's delay in between each auto attack.
Yeah. Anyway, all 5 of Landsneck pushing in toward the center turret. They're going to grab it finally. It seems like it's been a big thorn in their side so far. Legion just bone skewers. Iron Man fan just casually dives back out. Oh, Ublaga's walked into the cage. He cleanses away, though. Moose sees his moment, jumps in onto Taco Trinecki. Flozart just trying to do some damage from the back. Joshi has the flank, though. He has found Moose. He's found Sassiest Dragon. That's 1 kill already for Indigo Sky. Taco Trinecki flashes forward. Gar of the Sand forced to flee. Tak doesn't have any more gap closers, though. Gar of the Sand killed... Oh, he killed... Kha'Zix on the one side of that fight. Flozart jumps in. He takes a lot of damage. It's 1 for 0 so far, but the death from below will even that one back up. Joshi and Ublaga now fighting with Iron Man fan. Can they tank through the Gnar? He'll flash over the wall and then find Legion waiting for him. But everybody's so low. Alistar comes back in. Ublaga's dead. So is Flozart. It's just Joshi versus 2 now. This isn't going to be a super interesting fight. All the hype is gone now, as the Frost Mallet will eventually very slowly work down Joshi, but he's got so much healing. Maybe he can tank all the way through it. Joshi versus Iron Man fan in the White Shadow. The big fight we've all been waiting for. The headbutt away finally from White Shadow will disengage as Joshi at least has come out victorious on the push. Meanwhile, that bottom turret is getting pretty low, and there's a gigantic minion wave there that Sassiest Dragon's currently shepherding. What did you see out of that team fight?
A lot of interesting uses of a QSS in that fight. A little bit delayed on Taco Trinecki's use. Might have actually been able to get him into 1 more Q range to secure a kill on Gar of the Sand. But basically, he turned down into Kha'Zix and Tristana leaping forward, trying to get assassinations off and losing their lives for it. Ublaga being casted. Legion? You're on the wrong side here, but...
Why did they just ignore him?
What?
He ate in over the wall. He can't leave.
What? I am so confused.
Alright. Legion gets out of that situation safely. Anyway, Ublaga's found Moose on one side of the fight, jumps forward with the Rift Step. He's got level 16. He did lose 7 Magi stacks, though, out of it. Taco Trinecki coming over the wall, and the death from below from Legion will secure the kill. Now Bone Skewer looking for a little bit more follow-up, but not able to connect. And you'll stand still for just a second. That second Baron has spawned now that we've hit 40 minutes into the game, almost. It'll be the Elder Dragon as well, coming up in about 7 seconds. But it looks like Indigo Sky is set up for this, and Landsneck doesn't appear like they want to contest the Baron.
Teleport's actually being used to send Iron Man bottom lane to get tier 2.
So they don't have the Gnar available. He wouldn't have Mega anyway, as it just timed out, but that's a clean Baron take, I guess, for Indigo Sky. They do lose 1 tower in the process, but now they have the Baron Empowered Recall to get back, and none of the backs got stopped. So, Legion headed out first to confront the Gnar about their trouble. Hey, you killed one of our turrets, and I'm not happy about that. Elder Dragon would be a pretty decent prize for Landsneck. They have 3 dragons stacked up. Not the best elemental dragons, but the extra burn damage would not be amiss in some of these fights. Meanwhile, look at that wave in top lane for Indigo Sky. The wave management has just been better for Indigo Sky than it has been for Landsneck. I guess we'll say that. So that's the second minion backdoor. Curtain Call coming in over the top. Ublaga and Taco Trineki are on the Elder Dragon. Moose jumps in. It's Taco Trineki that secures it, though. Captive Audience comes through. It's not able to find anybody. Iron Man Fan gets a stun down onto Legion. They're trying to chase him down, but he's got the Guardian Angel available, and now White Shadow's in trouble as well. It's 4 kills for Indigo Sky. Sassiest Dragon trades 1 back onto Ublaga with a Primordial Burst, but Joshi will finish that one off. That's an ace for 1 for Indigo Sky.
That's probably a game with the teleport used, that massive top wave, taking a tower and still there. And we still got, what, 30 seconds on death time? Yeah.
The fight was just so spread out, and Indigo Sky seems to have assorted the correct members to the correct places, with Ublaga and Joshi going over the wall, the other 3 staying on the other side, compared to the Iron Man Fan Moose combo trying to dive. It was just all over the place. Yeah, that'll be the game for Indigo Sky. They're going to pick up their first win of the season here, and they'll have a chance to play Spoiler next week. So, congratulations to Indigo Sky. It was a 2-0 victory for them over Landsneck. And next week they get Propulsion with a chance to knock down one of the top teams in the league. We'll see if they're up to that challenge. Meanwhile, Landsneck, their last game of the season, will be against Jingo Squad. And that game has everything on the line, potentially for Jingo Squad. But we'll see how the rest of these games play out today. But again, congratulations Indigo Sky with the 2-0 win to start us off today. Where's my analysis?
I mean, I was sitting there, was like, am I getting links for the other stuff? But Joshi became just like a super big tree, and then he treed on them.
The expert
That's
analysis we've all come to expect.
the expert enough. Exactly. This is what you expect from Wing Nation.
All right, we'll step aside for just a minute here, and we'll grab game number 2, which is going to be Jingo Squad versus Ghost, I think is what I said. Yes, Ghost versus Jingo Squad, officially, the other way around. But we'll be there in just a second. Here's the video for the next game. It's time-stamped for some reason, but just start at 0. All of my videos pulled up with timestamps today. I think because I was checking them to make sure they weren't stuttering like I had the last time we did recordings.
So no lie, like 30-ish minutes into the game, I took a drink of water and went to set my cup down, and I bumped the minus button on my keyboard. And I was sitting there like, why is the game going like super slow? I look over and realize I'm running at half speed.
Oh no.
So I was sitting there like trying to listen and catch up.
If you do that again, we'll take a tactical pause and let you catch up. But
I was actually pretty close.
The extra production value today, we're doing pretty well.
There was a moment or two of like, oh shit.
Okay, I've got it all pulled up then if you're ready.
Yep.
All right. Oh. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got game number 2 of our set today. It'll be Jingo Squad versus Ghost. And this game, Jingo Squad 1 and 4, as we officially brought them back to life on the podcast. They haven't been officially eliminated yet, but they need a win, and they need as many map scores as possible from this game. Meanwhile, Ghost currently sitting in 3rd, but you're feeling a little bit on the hot seat being tied with the team just out of playoffs currently. And they've got a matchup versus Bingo staring them in the face in the last week of the season. So really a win from either team is super critical at this point.
Yeah, and already it looks like there's some interesting picks here.
Yeah. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get it started then. 3, 2. Oh, this one isn't the one. Sorry, one of them has a weird splash screen before it, and we'll have to navigate that. But this one does
Ah,
not. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Again, the rest of these games have been recorded from a previous patch, so apologies if some of the quality isn't there, if the sound's really quiet, for instance, which it is, so we'll turn it up. Um, but spawning in on the blue side of the map, wearing the blue health bars, this game will be Jingo Squad Gaming. In the top lane, XT Trey J on Garen, Thugs Bunny on Lee Sin, Uncle Jabronis in the mid lane on Swain. I couldn't think of the name of that champion for a second. And in the bottom lane, we have Jabronis, who is Boner Jams, BJ97, just borrowing the account temporarily while he's banned for 2 weeks. But it's Boner Jams playing Morgana, and Thad Castle returning back to his original name, playing Lux.
and on the red side, we've got Ghost. We've got Derisive Oxen on not a just straight tank. We've got him on a Gnar. Some Mechanical Reaper will be asking more questions. We've got Static on the Poppy jungle. We've got Essential Rain on his Malzahar mid. And then we've got the classic Jinx and Taric bottom lane from Danny Phantom and Acidic Tom, getting 2 of their preferred picks.
Yeah, that's honestly really high priority for mid and bottom lane for Ghost. Essential Rain likes that Malzahar. We've seen him be just super annoying on that pick. And then Danny Phantom and Acidic Tom, basically their mains on Jinx and Taric. And I don't even think that's basically, I think that's just straight truth. Meanwhile, on Jingo Squad side, Thugs Bunny and XT Trey J got their main champions. They got the Lee Sin, they got the Garen. We haven't really seen these two picks come to play, and I'm really curious to see what Thugs and XT Trey J have in store for us.
I guess we didn't really mention too much the whole Morgana Lux bottom lane. I have actually played against that lane, and if either of you get hit by a binding or snare, you're not moving for 5 seconds. And then once 6 comes, you just kind of die. It's cheesy, but it's actually kind of disgusting.
And honestly, like, it's the old school. You used to play Blitzcrank and Morgana together. It was Morgana mid back then, but that was the big power priority in like season 2, because if you land a binding, you land a hook. This is the same thing, except if you land a binding, you land a binding, and that person just doesn't get to be unsnared.
Neo, it's the love Neo. That's all it is.
Plus, Thad Castle running the Steel Legion Lux, so you can't see any of the particles correctly.
Yeah, of course. The pay to win skin for, well, I mean, I feel like there's 3 pay to win skins for Lux at this point. But Steel Legion was the original.
Oh, Static has found Thug's Bunny and able to knock him into the wall. That's a pretty decent chunk of damage so far, but able to safeguard back out. Now Thad Castle getting stunned up, forced to flash away from the zap of Danny Phantom, but they're chasing down Boner Jams now. Gonna try to call him BJ as much as possible. I don't know how consistent I'll be with that, but there's the light binding into the dark binding, and Danny Phantom ticking down on the pool. The ignite will secure first blood for Thad Castle. We haven't even really talked about Predator Garen hanging out there in the top lane. What would be the advantage of a Predator Keystone over like a Grasp?
You play less for the lane and more of, I'm gonna roam, scream at you, and come at you with 700 move speed, maybe? I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a little too quick, but...
No, that sounds about right, honestly.
You've got a nice big initial bop, I guess. And then, if you're on a squishy, that'll probably allow you to pop your judgment sooner. Or whatever, or it's not judgment, that's a Z. Like,
your Demacian Justice?
Yeah.
Uncle Jabronis and Thugs Bunny, I don't want to say are on the wrong side here. Static over the wall, not able to grab that stun. The Eye of Sauron does actually quite a bit of damage at this stage as he's able to land that onto Static. He's got all 5 souls already available, so when he gets that ultimate, it'll be a big boy ult.
Yeah. Vision of Empires, rank 1, I think it's 100 base damage.
Predator Garen is a strat by some high elo Garens normally. You go Triforce and do a huge amount of damage with your Q.
I mean, it makes sense. You already were going Triforce on Garen, I thought, at this point. Mostly.
I don't know anything. I'm not a Garen aficionado. That champion just makes me feel like I'm losing brain cells while I play it, so I just don't savor that way.
One thing I would like to point out in favor of Jingo this game, Swain should like absolutely hard win this matchup. I've played this a couple times recently, and it's a disgusting matchup as the Swain player. Malzahar can't really.
Light Binding from Thad Castle gonna find Danny Phantom. Okay, I was worried we were gonna see a Dark Binding follow up. Sorry.
That's fine. Basically, Malzahar won't be able to step up the farm until he's under his tower without getting yoinked.
Static's here in the top lane looking for Trey J. Able to grab a slow onto him with the Hammer Shock. Another auto from Derisive Oxen as he's stacking up that press the attack damage, and Derisive Oxen will take the kill in the top lane. So we've evened up at 1-1. But the gold, like 400 in favor of Jingo Squad still. I guess that's just coming from farm?
First blood.
Oh, first
money.
blood. So that's 100.
First blood and then a very, very slight farm lead.
It feels like it should be less significant than that. Boner James has Smite on Morgana. Do you want to theory craft about why that's okay?
I don't know if this is like a throwback to like the Runic Echo changes where it's actually usable and it gives you more bottom lane control, I guess, to help take dragons neutral objectives. Unless you're going for like the flashy, like almost Lee Sin plays where you smite a minion out of the way so you can land a skill shot.
Yeah, I think it's some combination of that. I know that Boner James plays Blitzcrank decently when he plays support, and that's maybe a throwback to that with the smite. I don't know if it's just the playmaking. I guess we'll have to see how they utilize it. But
oh yeah, that interaction right there mid lane. Central Rain throws out the Voidlings, they get shotgun hand. And then you don't even cut the shotgun hand damage to minions because they go through stuff that it kills.
Yeah, and you can see Uncle Jabroni's has a pretty reasonable CS lead at about 10 already. Danny Phantom and Acidic Tom looking in for this this ward, but they're not going to like what they find. There's Thugs Bunnies here as well. The Resonating Strike doesn't quite connect. Danny Phantom forced to flash away. There's the heal as well, just to sidestep the Light Binding. Static has rejoined, but Uncle Jabroni's will be the first to respond from mid lane. Dark Binding finds Acidic Tom. The flash forward from Jabroni's. We'll find another. It's 2 for 0 for Jingo Squad now as Static in trouble. The Demonic Ascension just ticking him down, and Uncle Jabroni's. The OG will take that kill. So 3 for 0 for Jingo Squad on the play in bot lane, and they'll turn their attention to the dragon as well. I think that was an Ocean Dragon, if I'm not mistaken.
I would check and tell you, but this is a recording.
Yeah.
So it was probably a Thirsty Boy. No, it's a Rocky Boy.
Oh. Slightly better for Jingo Squad. They'll grab the Earth Dragon as their first prize. I thought I saw the coloring in the pit, but I'm colorblind, so you really can't trust that anyway. Yeah, that looked like Garen. Oh, the Light Binding connects from Thad Castle into the Dark Binding on the pool, and Danny Phantom hasn't been able to move. She sent her kids to college, but she is able to flash away.
It's such a silly lane, and once they hit 6, you've got the Soul Shackles, and then you've got the final spark to nuke whoever accidentally gets hit.
Yeah, if that were 6, that was at least one. Well, it's at least one kill because I don't think anybody else was there. But Thugs Bunny has walked into the bottom lane on Lee Sin looking for something. The Predator pop from XT Trey J. There's the damage. He's got the Demacian Justice, and he'll grab the kill in the Mastery emote just for the extra. Dark Binding and Light Binding land at the same time. Maybe not the layer of CC you're looking for there, but they'll grab the chunk damage onto Acidic Tom. And they have a pretty strong push despite, you know, having no AD or attack speed threats. But now Essential Rain has roamed down to the bottom lane.
Malzahar did, I guess, opt for like the older traditional Aerie, so no Predator Malzahar to run down someone.
Walking
no
around the outside,
actually.
Boner James a little bit overextended here. Acidic Tom looking for that stun, forces the Black Shield out and pops it. That should be the suppression, and I'm going to imagine the eventual kill. Yeah, just bought a little bit of time there, but Essential Rain takes the kill. Well played gank by him, but now Thugs Bunny and Uncle Jabroni's are here. The kick back in onto Danny Phantom, and they'll finish her off with the Resonating Strike. The Taric Ultimate, the Radiance, Cosmic Radiance, buying a little bit of time for Ghost as they're able to teleport in Derisive Oxen for the defense. Jabroni's only the 2 stacks on the Demonic Ascension, not able to find the Bird Bomb onto anybody. That'll be the disengage for Ghost, but they are forced to burn that teleport from Derisive Oxen, and now XT TreyJ will have a huge teleport advantage up in that top lane. Huge in terms of length of time, not huge in terms of significance necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, a Garen teleport, he's got no CC really outside of like a silence to stop anyone.
Yeah, but when you have 6 minutes to look for your moment, you might be able to find one.
No, I was just following up with what you were saying, like, maybe not. Maybe he just teleports back and tries a solo kill, you never know. Something greedy.
Boner Jam's now in mid lane, just shoving this out. Oh, gonna take some space aids for his trouble, but yeah, I'm interested to see. Static looks like he's going Warrior Enchant on the Poppy.
I don't know.
I'm kind of curious to see what kind of damage you can do with Warrior Enchant Poppy. But I think the biggest issue if you're Ghost right now, normally when Ghost is able to have success, it's been through their bottom lane getting fed. And Danny Phantom right now sitting at 0-3 on that Jinx. Probably not a good feeling right now in the Ghost camp. And not super far behind in terms of gold yet. It is about 2,011 minutes, but it's I mean, there have been bigger comebacks for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, Acidic Tom finds TreyJ, and that's not the man you want to find wandering around in the jungle. Static and Essential Rain looking to collapse, and TreyJ is just headed into enemy territory. He's looking for the Blast Cone. He'll find that back out to safety. Uncle Jabroni's has slid over just to help a friend out. But now Thugs Bunny gets some solo farm in mid lane. Thugs has the Tiamat first on Lee Sin, so that should help him farm a little bit better, although it's not as much damage as you normally see, I guess, out of the at least the normal Lee Sin build.
Yeah, you farm quicker, and it adds an auto reset into your kit or an additional one. Not a Lee Sin player at all, but when like Nexus Blitz was around for the first test and I played a bunch during that, I typically would go Tiamat on that pop off.
Static looks for the gank there. It does force the Demonic Ascension out of Uncle Jabroni's. He's only got 1 soul. Well, he'll grab a second one there. Pulls in Essential Rain. Keeper's Verdict is flashed over. Thugs Bunny is here on the side. Dashes forward. The kick. Not able to connect with the Resonating Strike, but it doesn't look like that was their target anyway as they grab the kill onto Static. We'll call it the disengage kick from Thugs Bunny. And the Jigs Rocket sails just a little bit wide. Essential Rain has to be a little bit careful here. He's sitting here about 200 health. He'll get healed back up by the Relic Stacks and the Taric heal.
Hey, wave clear.
Yay. But Essential Rain's been doing a decent job. Since we did point out earlier on had the 10 CS lead, it's only extended out to a 15 CS, so he's not getting completely bullied out of that lane. He's got the Luden's Echo finished up now. So that's a lot more raw power, I guess, for the Malzahar. I hit my mic right as I said that. It's a lot more raw power for the Malzahar.
Runic Echo's complete for Jabrona is kind of, I guess, what we expected with the Smite on the Morgana. I guess if he's having mana issues, can just run into the river.
Sorry about some of the stuttering, guys. It's just the recording. It's not the stream. It's not me. We can't control it anymore, unfortunately. Dark Binding connects onto Acidic Tom, not the target they're looking for, but there's the Light Binding into the final spark, and Danny Phantom now forced to flee. She had to burn heal as well, but still sticking around under tower. Acidic Tom just trying to keep her healthy. Needs to get to the minion wave so he can get some of these relic stacks out. But there's the flash forward from Boner Jams. He sees his moment, and the Dark Binding will pick up the kill. The extra part of the Soul Shackle will hit Acidic Tom as well. But now Essential Rain is here, and he'll chunk through that Black Shield damage. Static will take the kill. Never Move not quite able to connect from Uncle Jabroni's as he'd teleported up into the top lane. So a good roam from Essential Rain and Static, and they're able to grab one back at least. They're They might lose two towers at the same time, though, as Thugs Bunny hammering down on that mid tower. They already got the bottom tower here, so I guess it's already first tower over to Jingo Squad. I don't remember exactly when that happened. Might have just happened.
No, their bottom line picked it up before swapping top.
Okay, well, their bottom lane doing a good job clearing towers then. That's two for them. And now they have to focus on how to knock down the middle tower. It's really by the book so far from Jingo Squad.
I feel like that Lux binding did not look like I was going to hit the Scuttle Crab.
Pay to win. So we can see the Morgana a little bit worse of a matchup there, and the Gaze will actually pick up the damage with the pool underneath him for Essential Rain, but now XT Trey J chasing him down, and he's running right into the belly of the rest of Jingo's squad, so he's forced to go back the other way. Demacian Justice picks up the kill for XT Trey J. That was not who he was hoping to see over by the Rift Herald. Thugs will channel this one in. We were talking about how they needed to knock down the mid turret. Well, the Rift Herald will be an easy way to do that. They're going to just ignore the turret right now as they knock in Acidic Tom, and the Cosmic Radiance too late to matter as Thugs Bunny picks up another kill. Shelly still very much alive and looking to charge into her second tower. Oh, that never moved, just not quite timed as the dash away from Derisive Oxen. He's got a Frost Mallet first, so he's looking to try to kite some people out. It honestly doesn't sound like a terrible pickup if you're isolated in a lane against Garen.
Yeah, if you're isolated against Garen, or really the entire team of Jingo, they run at you. Like, Lee Sin, I guess, has got the ward hops, but outside of that, they walk at you. So, probable first item? I don't know. Resident top laners tell us. Aaron, I guess you are a resident top laner.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not the most efficient first item by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact that you can use it to try to kite out Garen, use it to try to kite out the rest of Jingo Squad, feels like a worthwhile purchase. I don't know if it's necessarily the correct one, but it's not as wrong as it would be in most other situations.
Okay, so maybe this would be my question. The Ninja Tabi on Poppy. Like, normally, like, it's debatable, you know? But against a Swain Morg Lux.
Yeah, I think you need. I think everyone needs Merc treads.
Like if I was playing AD carry or mid, I'd be considering Mercs and probably get Mercs this game, because if I get hit by anything, that's my life.
Yeah, I'm also interested. Admittedly, I don't know what the build path for Mikhail's, but this feels like a Mikhail's game, some QSS's. Like, you need something if you're Ghost in order to circumvent all of this crowd control. Static has found Uncle Jabroni's in the mid lane, just doing a little bit of damage, although Jabroni's gets the better of the trade in the end with the Eye of Sauron. They're having trouble displacing this Swain from pretty much any situation. I'd say the 1-3-1 continues, but it's not really. Right now it's a 1-1-2 with Thugs Bunny looking to join the rest of the three there, but Trey J's pushed in that top lane, Uncle Jabroni's is pushed in the mid, and your 3-stack is kind of here in the bottom lane. The final spark has found Danny Phantom. She's able to flash and heal away again, so the summoner spells are just coming up in time. Now Static has found Thugs Bunny in the jungle, the big jungle 1v1 that we've all been waiting for. Oh my goodness, Trey J! Dunks on Essential Rain. Light Binding not able to connect. The flash from Jabroni's not successful, and the disengage from Acidic Tom on the stun.
That's also a Black Cleaver gear, not the Triforce that was mentioned earlier in Jet.
Joshy misleading us. Oh, the ult from Danny Phantom able to almost finish off Thugs Bunny, but he'll get away with the safeguard. And it'll be another turret. Turret number 4 going over to Jingo Squad, and about a 6,000 gold lead now.
Looks like Uncle Jabroni is going for Ludens on Swain. I don't know. I don't know what, like, I guess you could do like a GLP, maybe. I don't. Really not needed on Swain.
Static looking for a little bit more, looking for the revenge kill. He's found, well, that's Boner Jams, excuse me. Referred to by his proper name. Oh, you still get the soul if it hits the... Oh.
Black shield? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Dragon up in 35 seconds is an Infernal Dragon, so this should be a big point of contention for both teams. Trey J has teleport available on the Garen. That's the only one up. Uncle Jabroni's might have his in time. Not that we can tell by the cooldown there, but... But Ghost has the inside track so far. They've got 3 pink wards in the vicinity. They're really set up for this Infernal Dragon. They found Thug's Bunny. Might be able to get that pick on him, but he's able to safeguard over the wall. Just has some space aids to deal with. And, you know, the family complications as a result of having space aids. Make sure you talk to your doctor about space aids. But more vision being controlled now from Ghost. This Infernal Dragon, everybody's here. Derisive Oxen has gone to respond to Trey J, so this could create an odd-numbered situation, and Ghost knows this, so they are forced to back out and cede the pit over to Jingo. The Perseverance, which is Garrett's W, which for some reason I know and can't remember his ult from time to time. Actually, Perseverance is his passive. I'm not sure. His W cuts the slows down from the Frost Mallet, so should be able to escape situations, just maybe not engage them as willingly as he wants to. Anyway, Static's found Thug's Bunny. The kick into the Resonating Strike, and Thugs will find the solo kill onto the enemy jungler. But there will be another turret going down in favor of Jingo. They have the two... They have the two
mountains.
Mountains.
Really make up for the lack of 80 carry, I suppose.
Yeah, Final Spark just chunks Essential Rain down. And he'll be forced to evacuate the turret as well, and they'll engage onto the inhibitor turret. Light Binding connects onto Acidic Tom. Thad Castle is the Lux support in all of your games. He's got... He's at least buying pink wards. He's got those. He's got his Frost Fang, but he's also got a Luden's Echo.
I almost was surprised, like, early in lane if he didn't pick up a Dark Seal just to try and continue their little lead they developed.
Static has found 2 members, does some damage to them, and then sends them away with the Keeper's Verdict. But Thug's Bunny is here, and he's on a rampage, 4-0-3 on the Lee Sin, as they'll grab another turret. Turret number 6 now for Jingo Squad, unanswered so far by Ghost.
Goldley's gone up to 11,000. Well, just slightly over 10, but almost pushing 11,000.
And Ghost is just running out of places on the map that they can successfully, you know, have to themselves. They really need to defend these inhibitor turrets for as long as possible. And do you think they just need to look for the scaling, a couple more items to come onto Danny Phantom? Is that the hope?
I mean, that's kind of going to be the hope. Is Danny's going to eventually get going? The lack of an 80 carry might cause this game to stall out. And then if Jinx can, I guess, hit 3 or 4 items and not be still, you know, an item and a half or 2 items behind, basically, if Jingo's full inventory and Danny's still 2 items behind, then game would probably still be over. But if she's able to catch up just by all the farm that might be channeled into her with all of the pushing towers, or it's pretty much time turtle.
Anyway, Baron looks like the objective for Jingo, that they need to kind of end the game at this point. You don't have the best siege potential, but you have 2 mountain dragons. So you might be able to burn down Baron, you might be able to burn down these turrets. Static has found Thad Castle. He's pretty much by himself. He'll grab that stun into the wall. Derisive Oxen is here just to clean that one up. He'll say thank you very much and take that with the boomerang. So a good pick for Ghost. It is just the support, though. Now the Dark Binding lands onto Derisive Oxen as he gets pulled back in. Looking to turn this on to BJ. And that stopwatch will just ensure that he dies in a timely fashion. So Derisive Oxen picks up another kill, but Trey J has breached the base, the gates, in full display as he takes down the inhibitor turret, and now is going to work on the inhibitor.
Yeah, Essential Rain's already back at base, but there's no way that he can win that 1v1.
Static looks like he's, well, he thought he'd found
Stacks.
Uncle Jabronis, but Jabronis had really found him. He's looking to 1v4, grabbing a little bit of extra time using that stopwatch. He bird bombs down Danny Phantom, a double kill for Uncle Jabronis, and now Thugs Bunny is here as he'll smite down Acidic Tom and Derisive Oxen. Oh, will he get out? Yeah, doesn't look like anybody's here to stop him. So Derisive Oxen will get out with his teleport as he heads back to his own mid tower. The damage from that bird bomb, though, from Uncle Jabronis.
Fully stacked rod, fully stacked. I didn't see if the Dark Seal was stacked prior to the fight, but now fully stacked Dark Seal at the very least. I guess the Lin's pick really helped. I don't know. He does. Uncle Jabronis is one of the few other mids in our league that actually will buy blue potions earlier in the game if there's sort of like a critical or a fight that you know where you want that little extra damage. And he has a blue pot still ticking.
Oh, the smite. Not super good from Thugs Bunny, but was under no threat whatsoever. So that'll be the Baron going over to Jingo Squad. Now you get your pick. Do you want to roll through mid or roll through top lane? Probably mid.
Probably mid, and I would probably just have Garen in the side lane. No one still can stop him in a 1v1. Lee Sin's mobile enough he can match if needed or help disengage just by kicking people. So,
yeah, for
probably
Ghost,
what I would do.
Yeah, if you're Ghost, you've just got to try to get as much farm as possible here in the last couple of minutes before they crash into you. Danny is still sitting on 1.5 items. She has not been able to complete the Runin's Hurricane at all, and hasn't completed the Infinity Edge as a result of that necessarily, you know, naturally. But you need those 3 items to have basically any positive damage output on Jinx. Keeper's Verdict sends XT Trey J back toward his base, but just buying that little bit of distance, Uncle Jabronis pulls one in. Light Binding connects Acidic Tom, able to survive thanks to the redemption that he purchased. But now Dark Binding has found Derisive Oxen on one side. They're just pushing in this tower. There's nothing here that can stop them. They pull Derisive Oxen back in. Cosmic Radiance coming out. They're trying to turn, but the stun not able to connect. Never Move doesn't connect, but the Dark Binding does. And that'll be 1 kill going over to Uncle Jabronis as he takes down Essential Rain. And now Thad Castle kind of split by himself. Not going to matter, though. Trey J flashes in. He'll grab the Demacian Justice. He's on a rampage. Derisive Oxen in trouble as he's trying to kite back away in Mega Gnar form. Danny Phantom able to find 1 kill back in return with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Now the tower able to tickle down Trey J. Derisive Oxen, Acidic Tom, and Danny Phantom looking for more. But there's the kick onto Danny Phantom. Thugs Bunny with the play. And he's now dominating. Derisive Oxen will go down in the process as well. The shutdown going down. And that will be the game for Jingo Squad Gaming. Importantly, that was the closer of the 2 games that were played. Also, it's a 2-0 for Jingo Squad over Ghost. What that means is Jingo Squad now improves to 2-4. Ghost falls to 3-3, and everything is clear as mud currently with these middle teams. Our last game for Noxus of the day next is going to be Propulsion versus Omega Wolves. Might give us some clarity, might just make sure that we have what could be just a bonanza to close out everything. So we'll see how everything plays out, but we'll have Propulsion versus Omega Wolves coming up next. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. Anyway, sorry that one's time-stamped again, Winged, but I'm sure you figured that out.
Yeah.
Alright. Are you ready?
I am.
Oh, I'm not. Okay, now I am. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our last Noxus game of the day is going to be Propulsion versus Omega Wolves. Propulsion comes in at 4-1. With a win, clinches a playoff spot. Uh, with a loss, would make everything, you know, kind of nonsense. Omega Wolves comes in at 3-2. Again, with a win, they would be at the top of the teams that are currently tied in third. With a loss, they would tie with Ghost and be in punching range of Jingo Squad for next week. So again, another big game coming right after. But pretty much every game from here on has playoff implications. Um, if you're ready, Mr. Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh.
Same. I don't know what you're talking about, but same.
Our we're doing skin giveaways this week. We have 2 of them for this stream. I completely forgot to mention that. So tell all your friends. We'll be giving away 2 skins. We'll give away one after this game, and we'll give away one after the last one. I'll figure out some trivia questions in between now and then. But yeah, make sure to get everybody in here, and we'll be sure to give away those skins to whoever can answer some trivia questions. So I'll let me announce that really quick. Sorry to hold everything up.
I'm gonna beat you all at the trivia, but I can't win.
Okay, now that that's done, are you ready officially?
Mhm. Yep.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. And welcome back to Summoner's Rift as we're ready to begin again. On the bottom side of the map, wearing the blue health bars this game is going to be Propulsion Esports. In the top lane, Drodvir on Garen. I'm so happy to see Garen again. Cyrane in the jungle on Kane. In the mid lane, Mayhuli will be playing Ziggs, and Chex Mixon and Boar Rider Man on the purple combo of Kaisa and Morgana.
And for the Omega Wolves in the top lane, we've got MercuryX on the Urgot. We've got Luke in the jungle on
Oh,
Zek.
we've got Drodvir face checking at level 1, sorry.
We've
Okay.
got Omega Wolves running from a face-checking Drodvir. And we've got Arctic Bear in the mid lane on the Orianna. And we've got a recording of Maris rearranging the scoreboard for us. Praise the Lord. Otherwise, it was going to drive me insane. And we've got Silvermead Timbers and Savory Satan on the Zaya Rakan, the Lover's Lane.
Can you really have a lover's lane with Satan?
Yes, you
Okay.
pick Timo with it.
I really don't have anything to say to that. Um,
I totally have not played Timo recently. Don't look at my match history.
you'll have to ban Teemo from this man next week. All I'm saying. Although I have the 100% win rate Teemo, so you know Teemo's a big flex pick for hardest road. If anybody's listening. Anyway, we have a little bit different mid matchup than normal. We have the Orianna versus Ziggs, which are 2 champions that have been a little bit lower in priority this season. How do you handicap that matchup?
So if this is kind of a throwback to when Orianna was a bit more played, but traditionally, as we watch top laners slap each other, traditionally, like Ori will be able to just slightly bully early, and eventually she just can't step forward into Ziggs range. Ziggs bombs will just do too much and be too often to successfully sidestep them all. So this common item or two should start becoming pretty Zig's favorite in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested how well Drodvir will be able to navigate this matchup in top lane. Playing Garen into a ranged champion usually doesn't feel very good. He's doing alright so far, just grabbing the extra Q damage on GetRECt when he can, able to grab the Grasp of the Undying procs as well to keep himself topped off relatively well, but GetRECt, you can see, has the shove advantage, has level 2, he's going to grab the W. The Gatling gun just tearing through Drodvir.
Drodvir also started with boots and 4 potions. You can see if you're looking at his inventory right now, there's 4 things missing from his inventory already.
Not quite the Potion Master Garen of old, which, if anybody hasn't seen that video, you used to be able to start 15 health pots on Garen, and that was a thing that happened for a while. Only 4 available for Drodvir this time, though, and none currently. With the Corrosive Shot able to tick back through, the extra damage from GetRECt looks pretty good. I'm flashing back to Uncle Jabroni's. I thought that was the Never move just out of the corner of my eye, but it's just the Gleaming Quill from Rakan. So nobody getting pulled in, nothing exciting happening as a result of that ability. But so far the shove, as you would expect from Kai'Sa and Morgana against Xayah Rakan. But Xayah Rakan have that all-in potential that just can't be understated.
Mm-hmm. Still known to be the dirtiest level 1 bot lane, and like just have so much ridiculous engage range. Especially come 6, I guess. Once Rakan gets to run at you.
Hit you up with the quickening.
I am a little disappointed in the lack of skin synergy here from Omega Wolves.
Yeah, the base.
If you're gonna run the lane, you gotta run the skins together.
The base Xayah with Samsung Rakan. Anyway, a lot of damage coming down. Not able to grab that stun, but the grand entrance from Savory Satan able to knock up 2. Just a little bit of trade in the bottom lane. I don't want to say this is a slower start than we've had so far, but I think it actually is.
It is.
We haven't had first blood at 4.5 minutes. What's going on, guys? Everything okay? Chex Mixon's running low on mana, which might come into play as we look a little bit later in this lane. Not able to throw out that dark shield, or the black shield, or the dark binding. I think that's right. Yeah, it's not black binding. Might be costly in some of these engagements. GetRECt did have to go home. Didn't teleport back, interestingly, even though he's got the Summoner's Spellbook. So, holding on to that teleport, but did get forced out by Drodvir. Sitting at a small CS disadvantage right now because of it, but he's got an item advantage, and he's looking to go ahead. He grabs the Disdain into the shotgun knees. Drodvir, with the silence, just able to trade it back, and that's a positive trade, I guess, if you're Drodvir, because you haven't gone back yet. You have the Perseverance passive. Dark Binding lands onto Chex Mixon, but Savory Satan has found Boar Rider Man. The exhaust coming through, and Savory Satan looking for the auto attack. He'll flash forward for first blood. So Omega Wolves pick that one up, and he'll dash back out to safety onto Xayah. And Siren forced to use the Blast Cone. So the gank goes awry for propulsion, and first blood is picked up by Omega Wolves in the bottom lane.
Yeah. I wanted to say.
Luke is level 3.
I'm not sure how. Like, it looks like Siren's gotten both Scuttle Crabs, but what have you been doing in the jungle there, Luke?
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that, but he's level 3 while Siren is level 5 right now. And while that's not a huge huge advantage currently, if that experience discrepancy continues, you don't have those levels in the elastic slingshots, you don't have the gank paths available. Siren's taking away his Gromp right now. Although Luke is now aware, and he'll smite that away. The big jungler fight at level 4. Elastic Slingshot now able to connect, and Siren will just shadow step through the wall to safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even the difference between 3 and 5, that's two points in your Elastic Slingshot. That's the difference between having to run into a lane, as we saw against Mehuli, or being able to launch from the bush. And like as Zach, kind of your job is to like gank a bunch and come from all these weird angles and I want to say you can't do that because you'll get levels eventually, but when you can't do that and get your lanes ahead at an earlier rate, then it could get pretty difficult.
Oh, they found Chex Mixin, able to knock her up with the Grand Entrance. Savory Satan taken super low, but Boar Rider Man not able to grab that damage. Flash forward from Chex Mixin looking for the pool. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the Fear Beyond Death will pull in Drodvir, and you're in the meat grinder, brother, as Mercury X takes him down. Chex Mixin, though, in trouble. Sivremy Timbers picks up the kill. Now Savory Satan is here. The Feather Storm from Sivremy Timbers buys just enough time, and Boar Rider Man can't pick that one up. It's a double kill for Sivremy Timbers.
Or, I guess, so yeah, double kill into the Xayah. Nice start. Sivremy Timbers might have been doing a little bit of button mashing there, though. He's dropped a controller in the middle during that fight. That hurts either like the 900 IQ plays, trying to get them to auto attack a ward instead of you, but the ward wasn't autoed.
Yeah, Luke's grabbed level 6 now, so he'll have the Abduct available. Sirene's level 6, so it looks like that experience discrepancy that we mentioned has kind of leveled out. It's still a 12 CS lead, which, while that wouldn't be super significant in a lane, 12 CS is 3 jungle camps in favor of Sirene right now. And he'll grab the blue buff away as well, so should be a 3 buff at least for Sirene here on the second rotation of jungle buffs.
Looks like Zig's opting into the Tear of the Goddess, going for an Archangel's Staff, a little bit slower scaling build, if you will. Wouldn't know if I'd be a fan of that build or not. You definitely have more defensive options to save yourself from getting nuked during a Zac and a Urgot and a Rakan engage.
Yeah, we'll see how he's able to utilize this. Savory Satan and Boar Rider Man both not quite level 6. Luke has found Boar Rider Man, though. Tries to abduct him in. He does successfully grab him, and the Grand Entrance will knock him out. And Sivremy Timbers grabs his 3rd kill of the game. He's on the killing spree. And Boar Rider Man on the reverse killing spree at 0-3.
Yeah. Even with 3 deaths, Boar is still up 7 CS. That will shrink, I'm sure. Well, actually, maybe not if they're taking a dragon. It looks like that's what the call is.
Yeah, the Spicy Dragon, the valued objective right now for Omega Wolf. Sirene is here in the top lane, looking for the damage onto Mercury X. We haven't seen him get a huge amount of damage onto anybody, so probably not super close to that transform on Kayn here at 10 minutes. But now looking for a little bit more onto Mercury X is, of course, ranged, so that'll just be the Shadow Assassin step.
Not many targets to actually get Ross transformation stacks from. Literally, I think it's just Luke. Everyone else is considered a ranged champion in this game.
Savory Satan is not.
Yeah, Rakan is ranged. He's 300 auto.
Oh.
That's why Relic Shield stacks don't work with him.
Interesting. So that would explain the counter jungling, at least. Plus you can counter jungle Zac with pretty much anybody. Arctic Bear's found Sirene on the Rift Herald and will scare him off of it. So a little bit of time invested there from Sirene's going to go to waste, and Luke is actually here to try to secure that. Sirene's coming in looking for the smite. It's really close, and the smite will go in favor of Luke. And Ignite ticking down Sirene. Fear Beyond Death doesn't connect with the Mega Inferno Bomb just to zone everybody back out. Luke, not going to jump over the wall, but he grabbed the Rift Herald. So a successful steal, if you will, on the objective in favor of Omega Wolves. And it's about 1,000 gold lead right now at 11 minutes.
For being 5 kills, you would think it's a large gold lead, but Meihuli's up 30 CS right now in Arctic Bear. And Boar's still up 13, 14.
Yeah, so the minions really keeping propulsion in the game at this point. We'll see if they can start putting some ganks together. I'd like to see Sirene be a little bit more active, especially now that he has the Umbral Trespass available. He can get a little bit safer ganks, can try to get that transform soon-ish. Again, no way really to know how close he is on the Kayn, especially in spectator mode, but we've seen him have, what, 1 engagement with Luke and the one in the top lane. That's been about it.
Yeah, the gank attempt bottom that turned into Boar Rider dying.
Okay, so maybe a little bit farther along than I'm giving him credit for, but probably still only about 60 to 70%. Needs another gank or two before he'll be able to transform. And as we've discussed, Kane not a champion until he transforms, basically. Drodvir in quite a bit of trouble. No Fear Beyond Death available for Mercury X, though, so it's just the poke damage. Drodvir really not having much success, and you can see that in his item build. He's opted to go super defensive with the Bramble Vest and the Ninja Tabby first.
Fear Beyond Death comes up pretty soon. Might be a little greedy from Drodvir trying to stay.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Arctic Bear and Luke have wandered down to the bottom side. They'll clear out the control ward right now. Drodvir goes back in on Mercury X, but there's the Fear Beyond Death. He's able to... No, he doesn't dodge it. He had it connected to him. And would you like the honors?
You're in the meat grinder, brother!
Mercury X will pick up another solo kill up in that top lane. He's 2-0, but now Mayhuli and Siren looking for the 4v4 here in the bottom. Siren gets chunked out at the quickening, able to snare up everybody. The Abduct only grabs Chex Mix and back into the team. Arctic Bear very low, but he flashes away from the Mega Inferno Bomb. Luke knocks Mayhuli and Chex Mix in together. It's no kills just yet. Savory Satan looking for the re-engage. There's the Feather Storm, though, and Savory Satan grabs one. Luke looking for a little bit more as he dives in under that tower. The bouncing bomb does connect, so it's 1-for-1 as Savory Satan goes down.
That fight should have been a clean wipe for Omega Wolves there, but Arctic Bear kind of with the shockwave in the middle of that. Had the ball attached to Zac and pulled the trigger way too early.
Bouncing bomb over the wall. Mayhuli, respectable amount of damage so far despite having that tier.
Yeah, I guess we didn't even point that out. Bar Rider had the Storm Razor completed for that fight, while Silver Meat Timbers did not, opting for the Berserker Greaves. Bor added in the boots and the dagger after the fight. So I guess more of that like one auto burst.
So at this point, we should think that Siren has the transformation, but probably the wrong one. So you'll have to wait out that extra 4 minutes for just that little bit of BM in order to get the Ross transformation. Which, again, would have been a nice tilting factor in favor of Propulsion during that fight. But like you mentioned, not the cleanest team fight, and that's mostly as a result of not being able to layer the CC together thanks to the Shockwave missing.
Yeah, like Silver Meat Timbers is huge right now. It just that little bit of extra crowd control or displacement that a shock.
Oh, he's just dropping that right in the face. I guess there's nothing to interrupt him. So the Rift Herald is dropped here in the bottom lane for Omega Wolves, and they'll look to try to grab the second tower here as Mercury X has already finished off the top lane. But here comes Mayhuli down. Oh, Drodvir is actually behind everybody. Grabs some damage back down. The Elastic Slingshot back away, but Silver Meat Timbers is on the wrong side of this fight. Doesn't have Feather Storm available. Mega Inferno Bomb does so much damage as Silver Meat Timbers is taken down by the Demacian Justice. Now Mercury X flanking in from the side. Fear Beyond Death connects, but not onto the right target. Savory Satan charming up a couple of members. The Shockwave again not able to connect, but Boar Rider Man is on the wrong side of this fight. He'll pick up a kill onto Savory Satan, but get abducted into tower, and Luke will take that kill. One back in favor of Omega Wolves, but again, the team fight just not quite there from Omega Wolves.
Harmony was really hoping that... Oop, that's a Dark Binding.
Yep. Not able to follow up on it, though.
It's been 2 fights now where I feel like Omega Wolves could just, like, run the floor if those shockwaves are just landing and displacing a couple targets or even just getting damage off.
Yeah, you can see how low Mayhuli and Chex Mixin are. Shockwave onto either of those targets is almost for sure a kill. Mercury X now trying to fight 1v2. He's taking Drodvir pretty low, but he doesn't have the Fear Beyond Death. He's going to go ahead and disdain back in, but now here's Arctic Bear. They'll grab one. Mercury X now turning on to Siren, as Arctic Bear did pick up his first kill of the game there. But we'll have to see how Arctic Bear is able to use the Shockwave later on in the game. So far, the first 2 attempts haven't been super successful. And, you know, you have the big Shockwaves that do 1,000,000 damage and kill everybody. That's not what we're seeing. We're not even seeing a Meh Wave that just kind of displaces people. These just haven't done any damage whatsoever.
I don't really have anything to add. I don't want to...
I mean, I don't...
Yeah, like...
I don't want to be too negative, but it's been the difference between winning and losing the fights.
Yeah. It's been the difference of, like, the lead that your team had built for, like, exploding that gold lead with, like, clean wipes and having the trades that we've gotten to see.
But meanwhile, Propulsion has been kiting pretty well. Boar Rider Man using that killer instinct to dive in and at least get a trade kill out of that last fight. Propulsion feels like they're just trying to scale and get Ziggs and Kaisa into a spot where they're feeling pretty confident. Mehuli feels like he's there. His damage on Ziggs has been phenomenal so far. It's just getting Boar Rider Man that extra one item that he needs right now.
Yeah, and once Mehuli gets that transformation on the Archangel staff to the Seraphs, he'll feel even better, but still sitting on almost a 40 CS lead in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Boar is 1-5. He's died 5 times, and he's still up in CS. I don't know if that's the Boar Rider special or not, but we'll pretend like that one is, and then the other special is when he pentakills, so... when he pentakills while being, like, 1-5. That was one game.
That's there's probably was. I wouldn't put it past. That sounds like a Boar Rider thing.
But
hey guys, I'm 1-10 pentakill.
He's still very dangerous. Is the point I'm trying to make. He's got the CS in his pocket. He's sitting on the one item. Plus, he spikes a little bit earlier than Xayah does. We've seen this play out a pretty countless amount of times so far in the World Championship. But Kaisa has the earlier spike, has the more dangerous spike than Xayah does. But you can outplay it thanks to the Featherstorm and blah, blah, blah. They've talked about it a lot. I'm not going to reiterate it. Drodvir's here. The Demacian Justice actually wasn't on the right target, but he's still going to pick up the kill onto Arctic Bear. Dash away from Zac is going to abandon his friend MercuryX, and that'll be 2 kills going over to Propulsion on a quick mid-rotation. They lose the bot lane turret, but they might gain the mid lane turret, which is a little bit more valuable. The redemption just to slow him up, and they still have Ziggs. The satchel charge was used for that first turret, but the extra tower damage.
Yeah, the tower damage on his autos. Certainly Timbers has just now finished the base. That's a gold swing, I guess.
Yeah, that's a gold swing. Propulsion now has a gold lead. Quietly out of nowhere, with pretty much no kills to their name, they've got the gold lead.
Creep score.
Yeah, it's just the CS discrepancy mostly that has kept them in it and now has propelled them out to that gold lead. Cyrene has Rost. He's a champion. Yay.
Yes. I suppose Seiko has requested I flame him, but I'm not. I will not flame him. We do enough of that. But anyway, just in general, if Mehuli's able to just stay safe on Ziggs and not really die, then the scaling between a Kaisa and a Ziggs, they're easily just gonna come in and run over.
Yeah, they've found Arctic Bear here, but the 1v3 getting turned a little bit back around by Cyrene. He's not been able to use the ultimate yet. He needs to use the Umbral Trespass. He doesn't pull the trigger though, and Luke takes the kill.
Probably not who you want to kill onto. I'm sure at that point you're just trying to get out with your lives, but don't lose Arctic Bear again. Speaking of which, Arctic Bear whiffed a sombrero there, so that's like 0 for 3 at this point.
We'll have to see if Arctic Bear can turn that back around. Boar Rider Man has found Savory Satan. Oh, grabs the Plasma Stack as well. Killer Instinct's back in. This is the Boar Rider special. Flashes in, does grab the kill onto the support, and is now 1v2ing in the backline. He'll kill Arctic Bear as well. In the meantime, Silverme Timbers finished off Chex Mixin somewhere on the map, but now chasing down Boar Rider Man. That'll be 1 return kill, and now Mehuli the focus. He'll be able to flash away from the Abduct, though. MercuryX is just chasing down Drodvir on the other side of the map. I didn't exactly see what happened up there, but the top laners are just doing top lane things, I guess.
Drodvir tried to teleport and join the fight, and MercuryX canceled it with a flip, and then has been running him down.
Oh, the knockup from Cyrene, though, on the Blade's Reach. MercuryX is pretty tanky, but he's not tanky enough to survive that as Drodvir takes him down. But the return kill does come through for Omega Wolves. The kiting back from Silverme Timbers. Cyrene is super low, but one more auto from Luke. He's got a double kill, but that's not where you want all the gold.
Yeah, I mean, the second kill, that no one was going to get that without him basically picking that one up.
But that's 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's still 2 in a row, and it's a 404 Zac, which, like, You want kills on your target. Like, you want kills on the Orianna so she can do some damage. Silvermeat Timbers has a decent amount of kills on her, but still just isn't doing much. Granted, we've seen her mostly attacking a Garen recently, and Garen first bought Thornmail and Ninja Tabi, so until we see an Infinity Edge come through for Silvermeat, we're probably not going to see much damage on that target.
Yeah, it's just a difficult spot if you're on Mega Wolves right now. You need that extra item on Silvermeat Timbers, and then the gold that should be going on to her. Oh, well, you might get some extra one here as Mehuli's walked into a trap, and Silvermeat Timbers will take that kill.
That does open up a brief window where Mega Wolves could get some pushing back on the mid lane tower, because if Ziggs is alive, it's pretty hard to siege that tower.
Yep.
I guess you do have a bunch of ways to get on with the Ziggs and Rakan, but I don't know if you're honestly able to just straight up run through a 5v5 and tower dive a Ziggs.
Earth Dragon's up. They're grabbing the Scuttle Crab first. MercuryX can join with Teleport. Drodvir can't, but Drodvir's already here, so that doesn't really matter. So it's just the extra time that they're buying MercuryX right now. This is pretty cool. All right. That was some neat colorization. That was fun. Did everybody enjoy that? The four-man squad is taking the dragon right now. The sombrero actually takes the dragon for Arctic Bear. Chex Mixon's in a little bit of trouble. The abduct coming through from Luke, but it's going to be Savory Satan that falls first. The execute not coming through. Boar Rider Man dashes in with a killer instinct, and Luke is all blobs right now, and this will be a big shutdown. Who do they give it to? It looks like they didn't want to give it to Boar Rider Man, but he grabs it grudgingly anyway. He's up to 4 and 6 now.
I mean, at this point, Boar's probably almost sitting on enough for the Rage Blade to get that 2-item spec in Kai'Sa, and he's, like, officially back in the game. Like, no question about it. He's gonna become Kai'Sa, probably.
Yeah, and Drodvir and Cyrane are still in the enemy jungle right now, so this turret guaranteed for propulsion, and they may be able to continue pushing. Drodvir just cutting the minion wave right now off from his own 80 carry, but just Garen things. But they'll grab that
farm.
Yeah, they'll grab that first tower, and Ziggs split pushing in the top lane. Sounds kind of sketchy, but has the satchel charge, so he should be able to take down that tower with relative ease as well. Well, if Luke doesn't interrupt him, we might get there in a second. There it is. Okay. And there's Luke. A little bit too late to the party. But yeah, that was a big shutdown as well. The 4-kill shutdown going over to Boar Rider Man. He's even able to pick up that extra zeal after finishing up his Rage Blade now.
I don't think we have a... Yeah, well, there's just no way for us to check, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boar Rider's like ahead in gold at this point. If not, it's definitely close. Zeal BF or same, or it's 100 gold difference.
Yeah, I think the spent gold is the same, but I think that Silvermeat Timbers is a little up in total gold just with the 2 extra kills and the extra assist. Not 100%, but...
Yeah, I was just thinking of the shutdown values for each of the kills that Boar's received.
Yeah. It's very close, which is all the narrative that we need at this point. Now we're going to A-Rim, I guess. So Propulsion is all grouped up here in mid. They don't have a tower to siege necessarily here in mid lane, as they've already taken the inner tower. Oh, the flash forward from Savory Satan. They're just looking for the engage. Luke doesn't find anybody with the elastic slingshot, and Savory Satan's the first to go down. Arctic Bear forced to flee on the other side. Chex Mixon actually gets out, but the Fear Beyond Death not actually going to pull her back in because of the black shield. And you could see he was just mashing the R button and nothing was happening. It's going to be the steamroll fight for Propulsion as Drodvir was able to get into the backline and kill off Silvermeat Timbers. That's actually a solo kill for him, isolated on the back of that fight. And it's a 5-for-0 wipe for Propulsion.
Yeah, so Rakan jumped in trying to force the engage, jumps directly into a Dark Binding, just kind of sits there. The target Boar was able to flash and then use whatever Kai'Sa's E is to shift out, and then Boar basically wasn't touched until the end with a little bit of shotgun knee damage.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think is that none of the crowd control landed. Savory Satan jumped in. He wasn't able to grab like anybody with that quickening thanks to the Dark Binding. Luke jumped in with Elastic Slingshot. He didn't get anybody. The Abduct missed. I didn't see what happened to the Shockwave, but like if you're missing 3 of the 4 big crowd control abilities on your team, you're just not going to have a successful team fight no matter what.
I feel like Ori landed a shockwave on maybe like Siren, but not much damage coming out. Like if you compare the mid lane difference, the 217 Ziggs sitting here on 2 items plus a needless, compared to a not even 2 items while going for a Banshee second on the Orianna. There's not going to be much strength behind that shockwave at all.
Yeah, and another factor we're not talking about, Drodvir just ran into the back of the fight after Sivir Timbers. So that big member of Omega Wolves isn't doing damage in the team fight, is just forced to try to kite away from Garen. And now Drodvir, more Garen things. But the Baron empowered minions pushing in here for propulsion, and they're looking potentially to end on this push. You have the Ziggs available. You have dive potential with the Garen and Kayn as well. Luke might be trying to find an engage, maybe a miraculous 5-man abduct like we saw
It's possible
during
you could
Cross Week.
even if you're able to lane on Boar maybe this time. Boar, if you can get Mei or Boar, but you saw Boar lose Flash last time, so you know that that's down. Or should know that it's down.
Yeah, and the way this game has played out is perfect for propulsion. Occasionally we criticize them for having just too much damage, or too many eggs in the Boar Rider basket, I guess is a way to put that. We're going to get the engage here. Nope, okay. But Mehuli has played very well this game, and he's got that CS lead. He's got the damage on that Ziggs. He's a very worthy second threat right now. Siren, nothing to sneeze at either with the Black Cleaver on the Kayn. Like, you have everything set up right now for success if you're propulsion, and you're not that one-trick pony now. It's not just watching Boar Rider in the fight. While we certainly still need to, there's also the bouncing bomb damage coming through. There's also the Mega Inferno Bomb. It's not just the Boar Rider damage. They will grab one of the free towers that they had available. The inner turret there in top lane opens that turret lead up to 5-2, and they'll rotate back to mid briefly. Drodvir has teleport, so I would like to see him in a side lane, especially given that he's Garen and doesn't have crowd control or initiation.
Looks like Infernal Drake is the prize. Maybe we'll actually, I don't know why, for some reason I forgot that they had an Infernal Drake already. Doesn't feel like they do.
Yeah, that was the Shockwave that they stole it with, I think. No, that was the second. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Drodvir is fighting 1v3, and he's able to tank them for long enough that the rest of the team is here to join. Siren with the Blade's Reach onto Mercury X. Not going to look for the dive just yet. Just that damage plus the push now, as Mehuli has joined the fray, and grab some extra damage onto the tower. Just a couple extra autos that Boar always grabs on the tower. Always kind of entertaining to me. Barons ran out now if you're propulsion, though. So this is just the regular minion push. Luke might be looking for an engage here, although Sivir Timbers is chunked super low. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Look at that health bar from Sivir Timbers and Savory Satan. So the bot lane, not healthy at all, forced to back off of the tower, and the Mega Inferno Bomb doing the zoning damage. The Satchel Charge taking down the tower, as that'll be turret number 6 back in their pocket, and an 8,000 gold lead, almost 9,000 out of nowhere for propulsion.
Yeah, and like the siege is what we've seen 2 or 3, I guess just 2 towers. I'll be curious to see how much Mehuli picks up off the space, whether he's able to do like a completed death cap. He is. Yep, that's a completed death cap on the spot. So
that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. I mean, that was the death cap, easily the difference between a kill or just the chunk damage that allowed them to get that last tower.
He's up an entire death cap on Arctic Bear right now.
Yeah. I think, isn't Marilla more expensive too than Banshees by like 100 gold?
It's not super significant, but
yeah, either way, he's up an entire death cap. That's like, at this point, that's basically like what, 200 AP once you get into the passive.
Drodvir just kind of face checking through for people here, just grabbing some extra damage. They really can't deal with the Garen.
Hello, it is me, Garen. Me, big brain.
Sivir Timbers does have that, the Infinity Edge finished up, plus the last Whisper. If there was a time when you could kill Garen, it's now.
Garen has built no magic resist. There's not like look at guys, Sterix, Thornmail, and Deadman's plus ninja tab eye.
Yeah, you don't need
Like
magic resist
sure
if you're not getting hit by shockwave.
yeah.
And honestly, if you're using shockwave on just Garen, it's a waste anyway. But performance notwithstanding. Luke looking for Boar Rider, man. They thought they had everybody split apart, and Savory Satan's going to go in. That's a big taunt. They're grabbing it into the Featherstorm. The Shockwave is stopwatched out, basically, though, and the Mega Inferno Bomb coming in over the top. Silverme Timbers is super low, and Garen is still spinning on top of them. It's 2 kills for Luke so far. They're able to defend, at least so far, but the 2 carries are alive. No, Boar's taking an extra tower shot. He'll go down here. Mehuli, the only member of Propulsion left alive. There's so many blinking health bars, though. Just one more bouncing bomb onto any member of Omega Wolves would be a kill, but the dive goes awry for Propulsion, and the setup was just good enough from Omega Wolves.
Wow. Mercury X, I think he missed the Fear Beyond Death on his like initial target, and it actually ended up hitting Boar Rider, and it briefly zoned him out of the fight. And then the Boar ended up using his E, then we watched him tank a turret and die. He didn't have that extra move speed from his E to shift out.
Yeah, but that was, I don't want to say the perfect engage if you're Omega Wolves, but that's pretty much about as good as you're going to get. That was a 4-man taunt with the Quickening, with basically just the Black Shield target being able to not get hit by it, into the Abduct, into the Shockwave.
Yeah.
You had stopwatches, you had some defensive tools, of course, but like that's pretty much as ideal as you're going to get if you're Omega Wolves. And that was still super close. Drodvir, they're just ignoring the rest of the team. They're going after Silverme Timbers. The Quickening able to buy just a little bit of distance. The Blast Cone, but he's Emerald Trespassed currently. Cyrane looking for that critical damage. Luke ducks somebody back into the rest of the team, but I don't think you want them there. Mehuli picks up one. Chex Mixon super low. The Fear Beyond Death will be able to pull Chex Mixon back in, but Cyrane, the only member feared. Boar Rider is just chasing down the support at the end of all of this. It's the double kill for Boar Rider, man. It's the ace for Propulsion.
Well, that's at least an inhib. Probably a game at this point. You already have minions here in 30? I guess it's 26 on Zac, but Zac's not going to be able to clear a wave and fight off 5.
So the inhibitor turret going, or the Nexus turret's going down, yeah, that should be game for Propulsion. And they're able to come back after being in an early deficit. Definitely some assistance from Omega Wolves in some of their macro calls and some of even the micro in the team fights, but a worthy comeback for Propulsion, and really spotlight on Boar Rider, man, falling behind 1 and 5, able to turn it back around to 7 and 7 by the end. Mehuli's Ziggs damage was pretty ridiculous that game, though.
Yeah. I wish we could check the damage chart, see that it's a recording, so feels bad.
Yeah. So that'll do it for game number 3. We're going to step aside for just a second while we load up our last game of the day. It's going to be our Demacia game. It's Tastes Like Purple versus Oklahoma Gold Rush. So you won't want to miss that. And right when we start that game, we'll also have our first skin giveaway as soon as I decide on a trivia question. So we'll step aside for just a couple seconds and we'll be right back. So this one, I think you're going to have to start at like 3 seconds, by the way.
Okay. I was
Because
like,
I
we could have
accidentally
sat
had
the
a splash
splash.
screen. Yeah.
I was like, we could have sat the splash.
Oh, do you want to do that instead? We can do that.
It was because the splash was only on for a couple seconds.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that then.
Oops. Let me not misclick. Alright.
All right. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the same splash screen, but it's not the same splash screen because it's a different one. Big brain. Um, anyway, we do have a skin giveaway. Basically, the winner of this giveaway will get to pick any skin that they want, courtesy of one of our community members here at GetRECt. Decided they wanted to give away some skins this weekend. So, yeah, if you win, you're going to just have to contact me on Discord, and I'll get you in contact with the correct person. So, without any further ado, our trivia question. Uh, our trivia question for this first giveaway. I need the team in gold capped that has the highest first blood percentage. So the team that has secured the highest percentage of first bloods in the games that they've played. It's a gold cap team. There's only 16 of them. We don't have that many possibilities. Go. I don't see the correct answer yet. We are still looking for that correct answer. We're still looking. This one's actually apparently pretty difficult. There we go. There's the first one. It's Bingo Squad Gaming is the correct answer. OMFG, it's Banana going to be the victor on the first trivia question here today.
Bingo Squad has what, an 84% first blood?
Yeah, 84.62% first blood. That's all but one game, basically. Or two games? They're 9 out of 11 so far. So that'll be the correct answer going to OMFG. It's Banana. Go ahead and message me on Discord. If you don't know where I am, just look in the OKLCS chat at the top and find Roadmare Schematic and just go ahead and send me a message. Let me know who you are.
Whoever plays against GSM.
Whoever plays against GSM probably isn't an incorrect answer, honestly, because they have a 21% first blood rate. But regardless,
I mean, Indigo Sky's got that 16%.
yikes. So yeah, go ahead and message me on Twitch or on Discord. It's me. Okay. Without any further ado, let's get into our last game then. Tastes Like Purple versus Oklahoma Gold Rush. This is a big game in the Demacia standings. Tastes Like Purple comes in at 4-1. They clinch a playoff spot with a win. Oklahoma Gold Rush is 3-2, sitting right on that precipice of playoffs. They're currently in the fourth slot and a game up on Power Flashes and SEAL Team 6. With a win, they would have basically the best claim to that spot. With a loss, there's going to be some tiebreakers that are going to happen, and that might not be super fun for me. So, are you ready, Mr. Wing Nation?
Yes, I am.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, we'll watch the splash screen for a couple seconds, and then we'll get loaded into the game. Look at that recording. Boom. Uh, This is the first time we'll get to cast this team. Spawning in on the blue side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars this game, it'll be Tastes Like Purple. In the top lane, the Zister will be playing Jarvan. Panther, 553,212 will be playing Sejuani. Toe Knuckles on Victor in mid, and No Mind and End in the bottom lane will be playing Kai'Sa and Alistar.
And on the red side, we've got Oklahoma Gold Rush. We've got Trilogy, the ARAM only player, on the Gnar top. We've got Scrambles on Vi in the jungle, Thunderstorm on the Orianna mid, and we've got Duvranga Ivory on the Tristana and Braum lane.
Toe Knuckles pointing out they do clinch number 2 seed with a win. Very specifically, but they can't clinch number 1, and they can't fall to number 3 with that with a win. So, completely correct there. They would clinch the number 2 seed for Demacia. Kind of some interesting picks. Not like super interesting, but Panther on Sejuani is one of the lower priority of the like 4 or 5 junglers that we see Panther play routinely. And scrambles on Vi is a really interesting pick to me.
It looks to me like they're trying to run a combo that we saw ran either in semis or finals last season, where it literally just was Vi R Orianna Shockwave, rinse repeat every time it's up, and just get the two stupidly ahead. I could be completely wrong, but that's what we saw earlier.
Yeah, it has the Dark Harvest, which is a little bit less power early, a little bit more power late on that Vi. I'm not the biggest fan of Vi as a champion, just in general, because you only have one way to go, and that is into the fight, and you have no way to survive once you get there. That being said, can be really devastating on some of these level 2 ganks, and we'll grab some damage onto Toe Knuckles. Not gonna be anything permanent, though. Trilogy started boots up in the top lane on Gnar. I'm trying to think, like, the benefit of that against a Jarvan. I mean, other than Gnar doesn't have any other really great starting items. Dorn's Blade's pretty good. I guess Longsword would even be favorable if... I'm not really sure.
I've got no logic there either. Anyway, just thinking
I mean, you
as
can
a
use it
Vi-
to sidestep EQ, I guess.
Do you?
Yeah.
Anyway, thinking like as a Vi player, if we're talking like just straight up team fights, I don't know if I would want to try to even attempt to jump into like a Sejuani and an Alistar. Like my R makes me untargetable, but outside of that, I probably would just get bopped right back out.
Yeah, you almost want to look for like a 1-3-1 setup with the Vi and the Gnar in side lanes. Engage here from End and No Mind as they grab a little bit of damage onto Ivory, but he's a pretty tanky boy. Flash forward from Duvranga, matched by the flash from No Mind. So 80 carries both trading those flashes as Scrambles was kind of waiting in the wings. Sejuani's wrapping around mid though as Panther grabs the slow into the stun, and that there's nowhere that Thunderstorm can. Oh, the follow flash from Panther though will pick up first blood.
That's a CC chain.
Yeah, that's rough. And Thunderstorm burned both summoner spells as well. Burned that ghost as well to try to get away from the Sejuani and was unsuccessful.
Normally, as a mid laner, you think you would want to run Cleanse against Sejuani. It's just you're kind of a sitting duck for her. It's normally post level 6. But normally, every time you see Sedge, it's like, oh, well, I guess I have to run Cleanse. It feels bad.
But now that summoner advantage over to Toe Knuckles means that they could look for a pretty easy return gank. I don't know that you necessarily like flash gravity field on Victor, but you have the possibility to do that if you want to. Yeah. Trilogy has level 4 up in the top lane, just beating down on Zister right now. Has summoned Airy, so that extra Scorch damage and the Airy damage just starting to stick up. It's a little bit different than the press the attack that we've seen on the other two Gnars today. I guess this is just Gnar day for our cast. Trilogy, meanwhile, doesn't grab that boomerang and is forced to flash away from Panther as he's flanking in from the side. So another summoner burned for Panther, and he's got the possibility now to return to both solo lanes and make something happen. And I guess bottom lane with the no flash on Duvranga as well. The world is Panther's oyster currently.
Yeah, I would probably just try a repeat gank mid, just exactly how you did before, walk behind them.
Oh, and looking for the cheeky engage onto Duvranga. He dashed to the minion there and was hoping the AoE from the Pulverize would grab Duvranga, but not quite. It was a cheeky attempt, though. I appreciated it from End. I don't like the SKT Alistar skin, but I appreciate the attempt.
So, my brain just had a thought. If we were to, like...
Oh, Panther's here in mid, so your brain's going to have to think a little bit longer. Thunderstorm in trouble, doesn't have any summoner spells, and Toe Knuckles will pick up the kill.
It's too hard, my brain can't handle thinking that long. It's like, technically, isn't TOP basically in 3rd place right now? Like, you've got... Oh,
You're stretching this one. They're in second in Demacia.
They're second in Demacia, 3rd if we were to combine the leagues. Right?
Yeah.
Entering this game, they've dropped only 1 game. And entering this game,
And they've got better
Wait.
map score than Propulsion. Yeah.
So TLP's in third.
I
What else is new?
I I guess I'll give you that one. I'm not happy about it though. I'm really not happy about it. Trilogy's got level 6. He's got a small experience advantage up in the top lane. We saw him kind of use earlier when he hit level 4, but Panther has been ganking everywhere so far. And yet, still up on CS over Scrambles as well. But we do have the devastating combo that you mentioned. We have the Assault and Battery into the Shockwave coming online relatively soon as Scrambles hits level 6, which should be just another camp or two. Propulsion beat us in cross match, so we fourth. Cross matches don't count for anything.
Exactly. That's why I can say that Hardest Road's undefeated, because TLP beat us in the first cross match.
And OSU beat us in the second one.
And OSU beat us in the second one. But we're undefeated.
I don't know that this is the argument I want to have on this stream, though. Anyway, Duvranga and Ivory able to use the back timings, I guess, to their advantage. They've grabbed a little bit of extra damage, almost 3/4 of the health bar of that turret in bottom lane. I'd like to see Scrambles maybe make something happen there. He's waiting up in Tribush in top lane. Trilogy just fighting Zister right now with that phage. Should have the transform here before too long, and Scrambles looking for that gank, but the EQ away from Zister means that time waiting has really just been wasted. No Mind now, and Duvranga just scrapping it out. The exhaust comes out, but the dash forward from No Mind as he has the killer instinct, looking to turn this back around. Duvranga's in a little bit of trouble, gets stunned up into the Pulverize, and No Mind picks up the kill. Ignite trying to tick him down, but Ivory not going to be able to do anything. Able to flash away from the headbutt. Really well played by both supports there. Scrambles is here for the counter gank in mid lane. It'll just be an exchange of a couple of ultimates. Actually, just one ultimate. The Shockwave, the only one. Scrambles doesn't have his ult yet, and Toe Knuckles and Panther both holding on to theirs. So it's 3-0 in favor of TLP. They've got about a 1,500 gold lead as well. And we just need to see the Vi make a play happen.
Normally she's one of the stronger early to mid game junglers, and Sejuani will eventually scale to be a beefy thing. Duvranga didn't use Buster Shot in that gank. I don't know. I've just been puzzled, just sitting here thinking, I was like, why was that never used?
Yeah, I don't know if that was he didn't skill it up in time or what was going on. It'll be the first dragon going over to Tastes Like Purple as they pick up the Thirsty Dragon for themselves. Yeah, and now the wander back down to bottom lane for Panther. Toe Knuckles has returned to mid, but here's the gank top from Vi. Uses the Assault and Battery. They're going to really commit onto this one. Trilogy trying to chase him down. The flash used by Zister. They have the follow-up, though, as the Mega Gnar comes out, and that'll be the first kill of the game for Oklahoma Gold Rush, as Trilogy is able to pick that up in the top lane. So it felt a little bit forced, but they're able to make something work, at least, for themselves up in the top lane.
Hopefully that's just enough that you get like your Gnar to where he can consistently shove in the Jarvan and take towers and just kind of win that side lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, No Mind and N doing a really good job in the bottom lane. 13 CS advantage for No Mind over Duvranga, plus the earlier spike on the Kai'Sa means that we're going to have a very deadly Kai'Sa here. Maybe in now. He's finished up his Storm Razor. You don't want to lose tempo, though. They might lose this tower in exchange. I don't know if End can hold off the minion wave with the cannon by himself. But Panther is here.
That's interesting.
That's a really good call in, though. They're not going to lose first tower as a result of this.
Yeah, it's good to call him in. Also, I was thinking was interesting is you've got magical footwear on the Kai'Sa.
Huh.
Well, yeah.
That little extra move speed might be very useful. Scrambles did the Scrambles Rift Herald, by the way, as he grabs that at 10 minutes and 50 seconds. So Oklahoma Gold Rush has that in their back pocket. Maybe could look for first tower, except that first tower is going to go down here in bottom lane to TLP.
TLP playing the TLP style. We're gonna we're gonna try to open up our bottom lane.
Yep, Trilogy jumping in on Zister. He's got a 2-level and a kill advantage up here in the top lane, and we really need to see that work for them. Scrambles has been found by the bottom lane. No Mind and End as Panther swoops in as well. Scrambles is already down. Thunderstorm flashes over the wall. Doesn't have Shockwave. It's 2 kills right now to TLP as Duvranga uses the Buster Shot just to get that little bit of space. Thunderstorm turns back around looking for No Mind. The explosive shot not going to be able to finish him off though, and TLP grabs the blue buff onto Sejuani, grabs the extra kill, and that's a pretty successful invade as far as I'm concerned.
Jack, yeah, I was just trying to stretch to just make a TLP third meme. That's all.
DeMarcus and Noxus. I'm down for the rebrand into DeMarcus personally. No Mind meanwhile, and End, I guess, taking advantage of their tempo advantage. They're grabbing that mid lane turret as well, and Ivory is finally here to match, but that mid lane tower, not particularly healthy as well. Scramble's still holding on to that Rift Herald. I think top is the most obvious place to try to use that just to get a little bit of tower gold back.
It looks like he's going to do it. He's going to probably drop it from the Tribush.
You don't want to get spotted though. Zister has EQ. Could just interrupt that if he's able to pay attention. Nope, doesn't quite get there in time for the spawn. Toe Knuckles and Panther both roaming up, but that should be the turret going over. Scrambles can't overextend. Yeah. Well, they need the turret. Okay, they do grab that. Zister grabs the Jarvan Jacuzzi. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, No Mind by himself, and he'll get picked off by Duvranga and Ivory. Toe Knuckles and Zister and Panther all trying to fight Trilogy. Trilogy stunned up, turned into Mega Gnar, but the Shockwave is pretty big. 3, and they get thrown into the wall as Trilogy turns that back around. He'll get one onto Zister. Now Toe Knuckles in trouble. He'll get taken down. The double kill for Trilogy, and the 3rd kill confirmed for Thunderstorm as Oklahoma Gold Rush finding a little bit of footing in this game.
That was nicely done. It was able to stall just long enough for Narbar to get up, and a 3-man Shockwave, looking a little bit more devastating than the other Shockwaves we're seeing earlier today. In the previous fight earlier, I got really hypey when Thunderstorm flashed that wall. I was like, here comes the big Shockwave, and then it was on cooldown.
But there, the Shockwave used to great effect with, in turn with Trilogy's ultimate. They do lose Trilogy in the process, and now End and No Mind looking for a little bit more. They dash forward into Duvranga, but not able to find that critical damage. And End, I didn't see where he was during any of that, but he wasn't in that top fight. He wasn't in the bottom fight with No Mind either. So End maybe just a little bit out of position, and Oklahoma Gold Rush capitalizing on that.
Maybe that base. I also didn't pay attention to see where he was.
Yep, Duvranga and Ivory going to go back now. There's no tower here, so not as important as I thought it was when I started saying that sentence. It's about 50 seconds left on that dragon. We don't know what flavor it is, and we won't be able to tell unless it pans over it. I was hoping directed camera would be really nice to me, but it isn't. There we go. It's another ocean dragon, so 2nd ocean being set up for. End has found Trilogy, the headbutt pulverize. Can he grab the extra stun? He'll flash forward for it. And Trilogy gonna get stunned up. The CC chain is pretty good, but he's still alive. Almost has Mega Gnar back up. Doesn't have the ultimate available. Shockwave pulls back in Panther. And End will go down as Duvranga has collapsed. It's 6-5 now in favor of Oklahoma Gold Rush as they're looking to really turn this game around.
I mean, I'm just happy seeing Shockwave's making an impact here. Even if it's only getting 1 or 2 kills, it's what's Shockwaves are able to just displace and pull someone slightly out of position enough that you can chain more CC and get kills.
Yeah, it's a little breath of fresh air for us.
Normally I'd say you get a little control over the dragon bit, but your jungler's top lane.
Yeah, Scrambles is top lane, and I can't tell who is with him. Oh, it's Panther. Okay, so Panther and No Mind are actually just duoing that dragon. They both went over the wall with the blast cone, or Sejuani dashed over. I didn't see exactly what happened, but they weren't seen in the pit, and TLP picks up their 2nd ocean dragon of the game.
At the very least, that helps the Zister when trying to match Trilogy and all the little Gnar harass.
Yeah, if you're Oklahoma Gold Rush, your big point of emphasis right now is Trilogy. He's 3-0-2. He's a big boy on that Gnar. You need to find a way to get him involved in team fights, and you'll have successful team fights. If you don't, then TLP should be able to take over with just the kind of general strength of the rest of the members of their team. Now Zister and Panther both looking for Trilogy. He's going to find the turret, but gets knocked up by the EQ into the Jarvan Jacuzzi. The CC chain should be here. Oh, he'll get the Mega Gnar off the Gnar into the wall, trying to turn this back around. Trilogy trying to kite that back out, but it won't matter as the Dragon Lance picks up the kill. That's a big shutdown going over to Zister. Not a big one, but a shutdown going over to Zister for that one. Oh, the Shockwave pulls in No Mind and Toe Knuckles, but End and Panther are right here to try to respond. The Killer Instinct back in. Duvranga forced to run away with the rocket jump. Ivory in trouble as well, but the disengage is there from the members of Oklahoma Gold Rush. So that looks so good. End and Panther sweeping it at just the right time, but they can't find the successful, like, complete full engage to finish anybody off. And
if only Scrambles had been there with the Assault and Battery just to smash one of those targets that was picked, but he's been split pushing still.
Yeah, he was up in that top lane, and despite all of the split pushing, he's still only up 8 CS over Panther.
Sheen and a Chain Best picked up for the Vi. So he's not going complete squish, but he's still definitely looking for probable Triforce.
Yeah, Triforce plus, I guess, just a little bit of assurance that he doesn't die immediately. You're still diving into Victor Kai'Sa, which is mostly magic damage. Just out of that combo. Yeah, they're going to grab the mid lane turret as a result of this, and Trilogy looking for Zister. He has the ultimate available. He'll just go ahead and solo ult the Jarvan off on the side. The two top laners kind of off in their own little world while the rest of the team's looking for an engage. Now Trilogy going to get turned on by Panther. The Blast Cone should take him out to safety. He doesn't actually grab it. The Shockwave pulls in a couple, but Trilogy is already down. Now Ivory flanking from the side grabs the Glacial Fissure. The Blast Cone actually doesn't help No Mind whatsoever as he flies the wrong direction. It'll be 2 kills for Oklahoma Gold Rush now, and they're looking to dive onto End as well. Scrambles finally grabs the Assault and Battery, but the ultimate from End keeps him relatively healthy. Toe Knuckles throws the Chaos Storm back in, the damage being turned on to Thunderstorm and Duvranga, but they'll maintain their relative health. Yeah, it's 2 for 1 in favor of Oklahoma Gold Rush, but they're not able to grab any additional objectives again off of the teamfight win. Granted, the only inner turret left to them is this mid lane turret. TLP still has a lot of, I don't want to say free gold, but they have that waiting gold on that map and that inner turret, or the outer tower in mid and top lane.
I really appreciate that cat emote.
Where are you seeing a cat emote?
Ivory popped one. Briefly.
Okay. In the actual game, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking in the Twitch chat, I'm like, I don't see anybody with a cat emote in there. I'm down for new cat emotes, though.
No, mine had an update pop up right in the middle of that fight.
Oh. Unlucky. I don't have the chat on. Oh.
It was just
Panther's saying that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm being face checked into. I'm too tired for this.
That's alright. I had a GeForce update pop up in the middle of our last one, and I was having some serious FPS drops. It happens to all of us.
Anyway, we haven't talked really at all about scaling in this game, but the Victor and Kai'Sa have bigger mid-game spikes, you imagine, than the Tristana and Orianna. But the fact that you have Tristana, is that enough late-game insurance for Oklahoma Gold Rush, or are you still worried about them headed into a later scenario?
I'd still be a little worried. I think Thunderstorm's got the right idea here, going with the Haunting guys, going for that Leandries to help shred through the 2.5 tanks or so that TLP will have, because Leandry still does a pretty big chunk of damage and will help nuke at least Kai'Sa. Probably would be the target I'd be most concerned about.
You know, like, drinking water, that thing I've done for 28 years?
It's pretty hard, you know.
I still can't do it. My goodness. So the key, I think, is you don't want to breathe when you're drinking, but I haven't mastered that one yet. So, whew. We're okay. We're alive. We didn't die on cast. That would be the most embarrassing thing.
Next dragon coming up in 35 seconds. It's a spicy Drake.
Ooh. getting
Spicy Drake, spicy fight.
yeah, getting a little bit of spice in our lives. Zister and Trilogy, this still looks very Trilogy favored in the exchange. I think the all-in from Zister might be enough. I don't know. I don't think you risk that, but you could maybe turn that around. Panther and Ivory going to go ahead and fight, and Oklahoma Gold Rush initiating the fight. Toe Knuckles kiting back, using the Death Ray, trying to fight Scrambles, but Scrambles will take the kill. Thunderstorm is super low, running away from the rest of TLP. End is stunned up thanks to the Braum passive, and the Gargoyle Stoneplate now is worn off. Scrambles is here. Ivory flanks in from this, Trilogy flanks in from the side. The Gnar into the wall will grab one. Now Zister in trouble. The Flash follows him over as Oklahoma Gold Rush closes the gap. It's the double kill for Trilogy. And Oklahoma Gold Rush grabbed the 4 for 0, excuse me. And that should be the Spicy Dragon and maybe a turret as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Panther maybe looking for a steal. He throws the pink ward over the wall, but forced just to dash away the Arctic Assault.
Oh.
Used defensively.
Everyone just left the Dragon Pit.
Everyone abandons the Spicy Dragon. Panther's still in trouble. Meanwhile, the Hyper Procs just stacking up on him enough, and that will be the kill for Oklahoma Gold Rush. So I don't want to call it a delayed ace, but it kind of is. Toe Knuckles, meanwhile, is here trying to chase down Trilogy and Thunderstorm, but the hop away from Mega Gnar will be enough. And they grabbed one turret already. Duvranga and Ivory split aside. This could be dangerous for them. They're not able to finish off the inhibitor turret, but the stand behind Braum back out to the minion will get him out to safety. And the Spicy Dragon finally picked up as Scramble solos it.
So 8,000 gold lead here for AGR and or OGR. How did I get an A? I don't know. But OGR definitely up a bit. 10 stacks there for Thunderstorm on the Dark Seal.
Yeah, he's sitting in a pretty comfortable spot as Oriana, and it's a decent spike for him. We've seen the shockwaves be pretty effective in every fight. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the shockwave during that last fight because the directed camera only wanted to watch Scrambles beat on Toe Knuckles for some reason. But
I don't know if it's jungle farm or split pushing, but Scrambles is all of a sudden up 50 CS. When it had been staying like under 10 that entire time.
Yeah, I think Panther's been hanging out more with the team, and he's been giving out jungle camps a little bit to some members from his team. As a result, you'll see the vibe be a little bit stronger, but the rest of the team hopefully needed that CS for something for Tastes Like Purple. They're going to wander into the Baron Pit here. No Mind is trailing behind, so this is just 4 right now for TLP. OGR is pretty split, honestly. Thunderstorm's still in mid lane. Panther jumps forward, looking for an engage. Trilogy gets hit by the Void Seeker in the dash in. The Gnar into the wall from Trilogy doesn't actually stun too many people. And the dash in now as TLP looking to take the fight. The Chaos Storm is ticking down a lot of damage, and that'll be 2 kills picked up as Thunderstorm late to the party, not able to join. Here comes the flank. He's looking for the Shockwave. He only grabs 2 though, and now he's in trouble himself as No Mind and End chase him down. That's 3 now for TLP, and the shot calling around Baron just not really there from OGR. That team fight really separated, and Thunderstorm late to the party causes TLP to win the fight.
I was waiting for that blue to cancel. Everyone's back.
Yeah, what did you see from that fight, Wing Nation?
It was a 5v3 is what it was. Scrambles was late, and Thunderstorm we saw come in super late. Decided to run around the pit rather than like sit behind his front line. So Duvranga got deleted early, and then there was really no.
Oh, Scrambles has found No Mind isolated. We'll see how this fight goes. The dash forward with Killer Instinct buys a little bit of time for No Mind, but he will get soloed out. The Trinity Force completed on Scrambles is enough power for him to take the solo kill onto the enemy AD carry.
Yeah, and that was Killer Instinct and heal maybe used. I don't remember seeing the heal, but it's on cooldown, and I don't know if it was in the previous fight or the one that we just witnessed.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that one, but should be 4v5 on the map right now. Trilogy doesn't have teleport, but he's pushing in that bottom side, so it's just the 4v4 in the Baron Pit. This is a pretty risky business Baron, honestly. They don't burn it particularly fast, and I think they're aware of that now as Ivory throws the Winter's Bite in just to try to slow up the engage, and this is absolutely the right call for Oklahoma Gold Rush because Trilogy can't join. No Mind is back alive. He doesn't have Killer Instinct available, so he doesn't have that big gap closer. No Mind, actually, one of the few Kai'Sas we've seen, he's going for the AP build. Nasher's 2/3, rather than the AD build that I think we've seen more often. Now OGR jumping back onto the Dragon. Again, Trilogy cannot join. Zister also can't, so this is an isolated 4v4 if there were to be a fight breakout. But Trilogy just trying to get his split push on. If he could grab this turret, that would be relatively good. That'd be the breach of the base for Oklahoma Gold Rush. The rest of OGR peel off of the Baron for the time being. But look at the wards right now for Oklahoma Gold Rush around this Baron. They have pretty much a 2 deep stack of wards, so they should be able to see TLP coming from pretty much any conceivable angle. Plus they have vision control over the Baron pit itself. There's just that one ward hanging out just to the left of the Baron pit that they haven't been able to spot yet, and now they'll spot it with the pink ward moving. So OGR jumping back onto Baron, and the rest of TLP forced back into this choke. OGR really just looking to turn the flash forward from Scrambles. He goes way too deep there. Toe Knuckles has already killed off Thunderstorm on one side of the fight. No Mind able to kite out Scrambles with the help of End. Duvranga and Ivory are both fighting Panther as he's still alive on one side. Toe Knuckles is down. End gets the headbutt pulverize onto Duvranga, and they'll finish that one off as well. Zister and Trilogy are just fighting over this turret, but you can't overextend if you're Trilogy. That fight went all wrong. Yeah, Baron started up now for TLP. It's just 3 members here, and Ivory is the only one left for Oklahoma Gold Rush, though. Trilogy gonna teleport into the back. He doesn't have Mega Gnar available. He's only about half health as well. He'll hop over the wall, so his gap closer is down. He throws the boomerang into No Mind. They're turning on him. The damage from No Mind is too big. It takes him down. Ivory's down as well. The Baron goes over to Taste Like Purple.
Gold is shrinking. Momentum is shifting. Kai'Sa's on 3 items. A lot just happened.
Yeah, the damage from No Mind there, especially with the Void Missiles, was just phenomenal, and he's able to turn that back around on Trilogy and Ivory. Which, by the way, is rhyming. As far as rhyming names go in the league, that's a pretty good one. Trilogy and Ivory. Yeah, it's another Ocean Dragon. This really isn't worthwhile at this point in the game. It's 29 minutes in, so I don't think you take this unless it's free. But Panther's going to use it as a bait for Thunderstorm, and that'll be a quick pick for Taste Like Purple, and a little bit of advantage going over now as they'll grab the 3rd Ocean Dragon of the game for themselves, and maybe the mid push as well, as Duvranga and Scrambles are not on the right side of the map currently. So the mid turret, the arch nemesis so far of the game for Taste Like Purple, will fall as well. The gold lead's only 1,500 now for OGR. And it'll continue to shrink as they grab another turret.
Laid down to 600, and all of this freestanding gold, or maybe not free, but as you said, the waiting gold. Top being the next turret.
Yeah, that top lane turret should represent the gold lead now for Taste Like Purple as soon as that falls. Nope, not quite. I got trolled. Still, you can see where this is headed now. TLP has used this Baron buff to good effect. They've knocked down 3 towers so far. They haven't really had to fight for anything with it. And they're sieging turret number 4. Scrambles is just off to the side. He doesn't have flash available, but has Assault and Battery if he wants to dive into that back line. Trilogy looking for that Mega Gnar. He's only about halfway stacked up on that rage meter right now, but the boomerang cutting through a couple of members. They're going to grab the turret. Mega Gnar's up soon. This could be the moment for OGR to try to turn this around. There's so many Baron-empowered minions, though. The slow lands from Trilogy, but End just trying to thwart the engage. Zister goes in, doesn't grab the Flag and Drag. The Gnar is only good for a little bit, but the Shockwave is pretty good. It pulls in 3. Now No Mind trying to kite this back out. We're watching the back of the fight. Duvranga is just being eaten alive by End. No Mind has been able to kite all the way through. He'll kill off Scrambles. They're turning this back around. Toe Knuckles with the Death Laser. Thunderstorm in trouble as well. The damage from No Mind, a triple kill for him. The kiting is perfect from the Kaisa, and he'll take down 3 members, and they'll grab the inhibitor. This might be the game for TLP. Duvranga, ooh, the one crit onto No Mind. You have to be careful with that Storm Razor passive. Toe Knuckles and Panther focused on the Nexus turrets. The explosive shot onto Panther could take down 2 if they're not careful with it. Ooh, he almost shared that with No Mind. The extra damage from the Void Seeker, not able to pick off Duvranga though, and that'll be the disengage for TLP.
Either way, that was basically like what, a 14,000 or like a no, not maybe, yeah, that's a 12,000 gold swing almost.
Yeah, they went from 8k down to about 3k up. It's at least 11. But a huge gold swing for TLP.
Fight. That's a full death cap just bought outright by No Mind. Full Lich Bane added by Victor.
Yeah, the items stacking up now for TLP. OGR now on the brink. You have the scaling on Tristana, though. You have the 3 items. He bought a red pot as well, which is a choice that we were talking about earlier. It gives you that little bit of extra strength in a fight. Can he successfully chew through Zister and Panther in time? It's been very separated fights. We've seen the Shockwave do relatively well from Thunderstorm, but it hasn't caught No Mind, and they haven't been able to solo out that Kaisa.
And like this Sejuani's built pretty much strictly just to stop Thunderstorm, or not Thunderstorm, the Duvranga and all the physical damage. You've got a Thorn Mail, you've got the Gargoyle Stone Plate. It looks like you're building, well, either like a Frozen Heart or a Righteous Glory. Probably Frozen Heart from the looks of it.
Yeah, just look at the damage from No Mind onto Trilogy. Even with the Meganar popped, he's lost almost a quarter of his health just from a Q and a couple auto attacks. So that damage really stacking up from No Mind. With the siege coming in from TLP, they don't have a Baron buff. They don't really have any advantage other than the top wave has the super minions pushing in. It's going to crash in the base relatively soon. Should be another minion wave or 2. But TLP will be more than happy to wait that out. They might lose a little bit of damage on mid, but that's not a huge concern at this point. OGR looks like they're caught with a little bit of indecisiveness. Duvranga and Scrambles are headed back for the minion wave in top lane, and as a result they cede the tower, and now the Nexus turret as well, potentially. Oh, the shockwave over the wall almost solos out No Mind, but he lives with just a little bit of health. Trilogy diving in, but the shield from Killer Instinct keeps him alive. No Mind is still alive at the back of this fight. He's turning it back around. Toe Knuckles kills Ivory in Trilogy. The double kill for him. Thunderstorm in trouble as well as he gets thrown into the Jarvan Jacuzzi. No Mind is still alive as they trade 4 for 1. The
OGR
triple
took
kill.
The fight while Scrambles was still defending the base. That was, well, it was a split 4v5. That was still a split 4v5.
Yeah, they thought they had the pick onto No Mind, but they weren't able to get the last critical bit of damage. Scrambles comes in, just trying to buy some time. He goes on to the end, but his Guardian Angel gets popped immediately, and this should just be another registered kill for Tastes Like Purple.
Also, how about that healing from Ocean Drake there? No Mind sitting at almost full health after that fight. Before getting chunked down again by Scrambles. But
yeah. There's the Nexus going over to Taste Like Purple. 25 to 19 the final kill count. That was a huge gold swing based on the back of a Baron fight that really was super split up, and it didn't look like Oklahoma Gold Rush were on the same page through the last stages of the game. They did a really good job getting that lead, but they weren't able to bring it home. And that'll secure the number 2 seed for Demacia for Taste Like Purple. And for OGR, more work to do next week, unfortunately for them. They've got a big match against Gecko Slammer Armageddon that may or may not decide that. I don't think it's a direct play-in game. I guess we'll have to see the rest of the results, but I don't think it'll be a direct play-in game regardless. But you need that win in order to qualify for playoffs if you're either team, and now the stakes have just raised that much more. But congratulations to TLP. Clinch the playoff berth, clinch the number 2 seed. Feeling pretty good. We have one more order of business to do before we go away, and that is we're going to give away one more skin. I need to decide on another trivia question. We're gonna go for a Demacia question this time. Uh, so which team in Demacia coming into this week had played the most total games? Forfeits do not count toward this gameplay total. Like, actually physically have played the games. GSM's the correct answer right off the bat. Panther, sniping that one out. So, Panther, if you would go ahead and message me on Discord or on Twitch, and we'll go ahead and get you set up with a skin. So, that'll do it here for us on the broadcast today. Stay tuned. Coming up at about 4 p.m., we're gonna have Vid and Hunger Bunger with the rest of Gold Cap. They're going to have the Hardest Road versus Bingo Squad to help solidify the rest of the Noxus standings, and then they'll have the other three Demacia games. Hey, I didn't prepare beforehand, okay? Give me a little break. But Panther, go ahead and message me on Discord. We'll get you hooked up with a skin as the result of that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting end to the rest of the season. I'm looking forward to it. I guess you don't really have anything to say.
Sorry, people were talking to me.
Fair enough.